What's up? I think I should be live. Right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to move that over here. Okay, so I think we've got some people here already. Oh my god, we've got a troll already. Second comment. Meat is so yummy. Sure. Vegan meat is yummy. I agree. Hello Jason. Hello Rolando. Hello Martin. Hello Vegan Anthem. Hello Michael. Hello B12 Babe. Hello Vegan Kaz. Another damn vegan. VSL. How's it going? Hello David. Hello Alison. I mean, I'm assuming you guys is here. Maybe these were like old messages from when I scheduled it and I'm talking to no one. Who knows? Who else we got? I think, oh, hello Ben. Hello Lambretta Barnes. Hello Chip. Yeah, the stream is working. I've got a new wire. Hello Sean. Yeah, I had to buy a new cable. Which this one's better anyway because my other one was so long. Hopefully this one's a little bit shorter. It'll be less likely to break. So, hello Metal Vegan. So yeah, how is everybody? I hope you've all had a good week. My week has been kind of sad so far. Well, it's only Tuesday, so yeah, we had sheep die yesterday in the sanctuary that I work, and it was just like it was horrible, just like seeing her in so much like pain and distress and stuff. Obviously, if it was going to be like prolonged, then we would have had her euthanized too, you know, so that she wasn't having to suffer. But we really wanted her to survive and to come back around. So yeah, we did everything we could for her, you know, trying to keep her hydrated and giving her electrolytes, and we had the vet out and, you know, just doing whatever we could for her to, you know, get her body starting, because, you know, she was just like laying down and breathing, her breathing was off, and I don't know, it's hard to get like an actual diagnosis, but yeah, just seeing her and like seeing over a 24-hour period, seeing like the life draining out of her, it was just like, yeah, it's just like, it's unreal. It's just so sad. Sorry to like come in with all like this depressing thing, but yeah, no, she passed away yesterday, and in the UK, I don't know if this is the same everywhere else, but by law, their bodies have to be collected. You can't keep their bodies, you can't bury them. It's a DEFRA law. We have to follow that. Yeah, and you have to like declare their deaths basically. So yeah, we had the Naka man come out today, and yeah, he comes in this big truck, and it's full of dead animals, and he basically said that this summer is like the busiest he's ever been. He goes around to like all farms and places that keep animals basically, and like collects all the animals who have died. And obviously Edie, our sheep, he came to collect her. They have to like, you know, hoist them into this van. But yeah, they had in the van today, they had several dead sheep, dead calves. And he was basically saying that, you know, this is happening so frequently. In one day, he collected 30 dead sheep because from heat stroke, and he was saying that it's most likely happened because of heat stroke. Obviously, the sheep, we shear them, we have them sheared because that's in their best interest to keep them cool in summer. But beyond that, if it's like really hot weather and stuff, they can unfortunately die from heat stroke. And he's said he's seeing it a lot. This is it's really shitty. And also, like, I mean, we're only a small sanctuary with like not that many animals, but I've had to like intervene in the past couple of weeks and stop like fly strike from happening, because this weather is like a breeding ground for flies and all of these infections and stuff, and it makes you like wonder how many animals are out there on farms who they're not going around giving the animals like checks that I give them. They have like they have like hundreds of animals, and these animals they'll just be left there to die. And if things like fly strike and heat stroke and God knows what else, parasites, this is also risky in this weather. If this is like happening where I'm working, well, it's not happening because I've prevented some of them, like the fly strike and the flies laying eggs in some of the birds that we've got. And so I've managed to prevent that before their eggs have laid. But if this is happening to us, this is like it's happening everywhere. But anyway, Edie is unfortunately no longer with us, and her heart gave up. But you guys, I have a video from when she was a baby. If you want to see it, it's like the cutest thing ever. I'm sure it will like cheer you up a little bit, because she was only 4, and she was rescued as a baby, and she was rescued with a few others as babies, so she's never known any kind of exploitation in her whole life. She's always lived on a sanctuary. Okay, I'll show you the video. Let me see, I've put it in my drafts, so let's have a look. Drafts. Yeah, so this is her on the left hand side here. Oh, there's sound on the video, and God, I don't know why it did that. So she's on the far left, and then there's also Fluffy, and I think that's Dottie or Domino next to her. So they'll start running around and jumping in a minute. They're so cute. Look how these lambs, they're just like little puppies jumping off the hay bale. But yeah, she's lived on the sanctuary for 4 whole years. Yeah, just playing with her friends, never knowing any kind of exploitation. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys before we get started. So, where's my background gone? Don't look. Oh, it's not coming on. Bear with me. Right, I'm going to move this. Hang on. Right. I'm moving that because in order to put my background on, I have to go through my photo album, and not that I've got anything like secret that I wouldn't want anyone to see, but I have like, oh, they're still there. I've got like a random picture of like my Hoover attachment which broke, and like really random things like birds' bums and stuff, because I was going to show the fly strike. And we don't want people looking through my photo album. Anyway, I hope everybody else has had a fun week. It's just if the live stream was tomorrow, I think I'd be probably too depressed to do this, but Well, I hope the sound's okay and everything, but I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me just check my checklist. Go live on YouTube, check. Confirm, guests can hear me, check. Someone would have said if I was silent. Greet people, check. Go live on TikTok, let's go. Sound is great. Super Gam. And my name is with a J, so yeah, I always when people call me Jem with a G, it looks so wrong to me because my name's start with a J, so I'm like, what is that? But yeah, I think that's the most common spelling is with a G. Right, what I need to do is I'm just going to get this link and bring it over to YouTube. So if you just bear with me 1 second, I'll just do that and then we'll get started. So TikTok. Are you going to Soul Day? Are you coming to... Is there multiple Solidarity Days or is there just one in the UK? Right, copy that. Right, great dog meat video. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm kind of like running out of content, so I'm going to try and get a bit more creative this week in terms of content. So yeah, hopefully I'll do some, like, I don't know, stitches, or I'll do some like talking head videos or something like that to keep me going until I go back out on the streets and do some outreach. I guess it's nice to have a bit of a mix anyway, so. Right, join the live here. And I've got some anti-vegan videos like saved that I'm like, oh my God, I need to put this person straight. Like, I need to respond to this because what they're saying is just so ridiculous. Right, let me pin this. What is your problem? If somebody has a problem, that's really weird. Troll message. I was gonna say come and join the stream and we'll talk about it, but you seem a bit strange, so maybe don't do that. Maybe if you want an actual adult conversation and you think with your brain, maybe we can do that. So we've got some mods in the chat, and actually before I get started I'll just say because I think I had somebody banned from the stream last week, but yeah guys, just if people are spamming or if they're saying something like really offensive, then I would just put them in a timeout. You can time them out for like 24 hours or whatever. But yeah, I don't think anybody needs to be banned by mods. And also, yeah, if they say anything that's like super offensive or racist or sexist or anything like that, then yeah, please delete the message if you see it. But yeah, we don't need to ban anyone or anything. I don't know, I've got quite a few mods, so yeah, it might not be anybody who's here at the moment, but just want to clarify that. Okay, so yeah, we are ready. So if you're here on TikTok, I'm here to have a conversation with you to find out why you aren't vegan. We've got a few people here already and we've got some requests, so I'll go ahead and start getting people up, but you do have to be over 18. If you're not over 18, there's no point requesting because I will have to drop you. That is TikTok rules. And also, I'm here for honest conversations, you guys. So, yeah, any trolls or anybody who is dead set on defending their position and isn't open to being wrong or learning anything new. Yeah, not particularly interested. I'm here for people who are open minded and want to have a conversation and challenge their current way of thinking or how they've been raised to think. So, yeah, let's go. So, first, I'm going to get up some awesome vegans on the panel. We have Chip and David. How's it going, you guys?
Hey, Jam.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Sorry to hear about what happened, but I'm sure they lived a
It's
wonderful life, you know.
yeah,
That was a cool little video.
yeah. It's the unfortunate realities of working with animals is that it's not always like sunshine and rainbows. A lot of the time it is because obviously they've been rescued and they're getting to live without being exploited, but there will be casualties, and especially with the way that these animals have been bred as well. They're not
Yeah,
designed to
yeah,
live past their a certain age, and for this sheep would have been unalived at just a fraction of that lifespan. So yeah,
for sure, for
yeah,
sure.
there's so many issues when animals are rescued from farms, with chickens and going lame because they can't walk because they've been bred to grow so quickly, and these egg laying hens getting issues because of all of the eggs they've been bred to lay. It's horrific, and these animals should be living long healthy lives,
Yeah,
but
for sure. I
unfortunately
was
they don't.
at two sanctuaries this weekend, so I had the
Awesome.
opportunity to hang out with lots of critters, and
Hmm.
they're also like have their own little personality. There was a rooster one I was at, and there was one that's just like really tiny. I can't remember the breed, but they were like the ones like leading the charge and going after the big rooster. It was pretty funny. You should
Oh.
have seen it.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll send you a
wow.
picture. Yeah, they're so
That's
cute.
awesome. We just rescued two geese as well, and they're only 8 weeks old, but they are humongous because they've been given. These are supposed to be Christmas dinner. These geese. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know why if people eat them or use their fat or whatever to pour on their potatoes. I don't know, but yeah, they're 8 weeks old and they're like the size of what you'd expect a full grown geese to be because they've just been fattened up and they can't even stand because they're so big. So yeah, we're having to like move them around ourselves and give them baths and stuff, and we're hoping that as they grow they're going to be able to start carrying their weight as their legs and feet develop more, but who knows. It's really shitty how we just breed these animals to serve our interests and not theirs.
Yeah. Well, it's such a noble cause. I so appreciate people that work at sanctuaries.
Mm,
It's not easy, but it's so needed, you know.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, yeah, they deserve it. They deserve a fighting chance anyway. But yeah, anyway, that's my rant over about it, how these animals are bred. Just this like all of these incidents this week with the sheep and the geese as well and fly strike. It just makes you think about all of this stuff. So I had to get that off my chest.
For
But
sure.
yeah, let's go ahead and get the first guest up. So first of all we have, is it Blake Daniels? Hey, are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So before we go into it, can you just explain what your current understanding is of veganism? Like, what do you understand vegan to mean?
They don't eat meat or wear fur or basically PETA mindset.
Don't eat. Well, that those things would be a consequence of being vegan, but it all stems from an ethical principle that we should live without exploiting other animals. So it
Mm,
means not using them in any way that goes against their interests. So we wouldn't use them for
okay.
entertainment, or like, ride horses, or you go to the zoo or circus, or like you said, consume them, anything that comes out of them, wear their skin, things that go against their interest.
You
So,
know, okay, I understand that. So,
okay.
so with your viewpoint or with your stance or your argument, you believe that we should just completely leave them alone, like release all livestock from farms,
No,
let them just go out in the
no,
wild,
no.
or how do you?
I think that we
Or
should.
okay, because like my whole thing is behind this. Like I understand your whole ethical standpoint. I understand your argument. I don't agree with it, but I can
Mhm.
understand it. But my only thing is, without the farming, without the humans controlling the livestock and animals and all that, not all of them, but a lot of them, especially cows, would definitely go towards extinction real quick. So
Okay, so
I
yeah,
would
we
argue that
can.
extinction it would be worse for them than what's going on now.
Why would you think that?
Well, because if they're extinct, that species will no longer live on this world at all. That's worse than
Okay.
their
So if they
situation now.
so if they don't exist, how would that be bad for them? Because surely if you don't exist, you can't experience anything bad.
If your species goes extinct, I would argue that that's bad. If humans were to go extinct, that would be bad, right? That
Well,
would be
not
bad for
for.
humankind. That would be bad for mankind if humans were to go extinct, right?
Yeah, I mean, not for any particular
So you could use
individual.
that logic with any
So,
species, is what I'm
sure.
saying.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would say that these animals, they're not natural animals anyway. So I don't know if you heard what I was saying before you came in, but they've been bred in a way that is
Yeah, selective breeding. I know about all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They've been bred in a way that causes them pain, that causes them issues. So, their bodies aren't natural anyway. So them just existing is actually very harmful to them anyway, because they've been bred into these bodies.
Where did you get that
And
information that just that wait, where did you get the information that them just existing, like the normal cows that are just out grazing in the field, that they're in
yeah,
constant pain day in and
because
day out?
no, I'm not saying that they're in constant pain. I said that they've been bred in a way that isn't beneficial to them. They've been bred to serve our
No, you said they were
interests.
you said they're in pain. You said they're always in pain. How are they
I
always
didn't
in
say they're
pain?
always in pain. I wouldn't say
Okay.
that
I guess
that
I'm hearing things.
but when they're giving birth, because their babies are bigger than what they naturally would be, they're bred to grow bigger than they naturally would, quicker than they naturally would. So all of these things are detrimental, and they're like cows, for example, they're bred to produce more milk than what's natural. So yeah, these things are very detrimental to their health, which is why so many of them, they can't survive past a certain age because they don't make it. They're not
Yes, and then after that
designed.
age, they're usually consumed.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're not designed to live very long. But anyway, I would say that extinction doesn't really apply to these particular animals anyway, because they're domesticated.
For
So
cows, it definitely does.
no, because they're
Cows
domesticated.
cannot survive. Like you even said just now yourself, like they're bred to grow bigger and faster.
There's
They're very
wild
slow. They're
cows.
very
There's wild
Yeah,
cows, by the way.
there are wild cows, but I'm saying, but most cows, like I'm
Wait,
not sure
Blake,
about the percentages. I can look them up, but vast majority of cows in the United States, at least, are not wild cows.
Blake, are you concerned about the existence of cows?
No, I mean, well, I mean,
No, no, because I'm just
as
trying to
far as like
understand
reliable
because
sustenance and meat, yes, because
so Blake,
vast majority of people eat meat. So yes, in that sense, as a food supply, yes.
so because the reason why you keep bringing it, like you came up with this argument of cows going extinct as if you actually cared about cows, but surely if you cared about cows, you wouldn't pay for them to be exploited or
Well, no,
unalived,
here's the
right?
thing. I didn't bring up. No. You're misrepresenting my mindset here. I'm not bringing it up because I care so much about cows. I'm
Oh,
bringing it up because what you guys are suggesting doesn't seem to make much sense logistically.
what are we suggesting, Blake?
No, what the host is suggesting, at least, that we
Yeah, yeah.
shouldn't
What
be
was the
doing
host
anything with them
suggesting?
and
Can
just
you
let them
repeat?
go extinct.
No, no, no,
I'm not saying it
I
because I
don't think
care
that's
about cows. I'm not saying it because I have some fake virtue signaling part of me like you
No,
guys
but
do.
what's the
I'm just saying
definition
that
of
as a
veganism? Blake,
what?
you kind of skipped over the definition of veganism, and we're trying to see if you understand what Jem was saying it was.
Well, no, because I want to get to the understanding of what your guys' actual solution is gonna be.
I don't think
Because
you're here
we
in
can sit
good
here and bitch
faith,
about all the
are you?
problems in the world all we
Yeah.
want, but if you
So
don't have an
Blake,
actual solution, it seems
Blake,
kind of pointless.
Blake, can I explain something? Because I don't think that you're really understanding. So, yeah, what I was saying before is I don't think you can really say that these animals are going to go extinct because we've bred them into existence to be this way from their natural ancestors. So maybe you could say that those
Yes,
animals are going to. Hang on a
they're
minute.
very
Sorry, Blake.
reliant. They are
Sorry,
very
Blake. Sorry,
dependent on
Blake. Sorry,
humans.
Blake. Sorry, Blake. I'm just in the middle of a sentence. So, their natural ancestors, so the red jungle fowl that we domesticated chickens from, the like wild sheep, wild cows, wild boar that we domesticated pigs from. So they
Yep.
are natural animals who go extinct or
Yes, they
not. So
are.
you saying that domesticated cows, pigs, and chickens will go extinct is kind of like similar to saying, right, we're going to breed a certain race of human beings into existence with these certain deformities because we want them to benefit us. So we're going to breed them into existence to be really humongous or to grow really bushy hair really quick, and that's bad for them. But if we stop doing it, they'll go extinct. Well, obviously, it's not them going extinct because they're part of the human species, but they're not natural, right? Does that make sense? And also, Blake,
But what I said was that the majority of cows are like that. So a vast
okay,
majority of them are going to go extinct. Yes, I didn't say I didn't say
okay,
all
yeah,
cows
yeah,
all
yeah,
across the
yeah.
world.
Okay,
I'm
and
saying the
I
domesticated cows that we
listen.
see nowadays on
Sure,
farmland will go
whatever.
extinct. They are too reliant on human beings.
They'll exist in sanctuaries being taken care of and not exploited, right? And the other thing that I wanted to say is that by farming all of these animals, by breeding all of these farmed animals into existence that we're going to exploit, we're using land and we're denying natural animals the chance to exist because we're taking farmland, we're destroying habitats, we're causing deforestation. So if you have a problem with species extinction, then you should be vegan because the amount of biodiversity loss that's caused from all of the land that we use, and these are animals who actually don't suffer because of the way that they're born because they haven't been selectively bred. So if you have a problem with that, then you should be vegan.
No, I have a problem. No, I would have a problem with cows going extinct because I would be getting rid of a
Okay,
lot of
okay. So
food
just
supply that comes to the U.S. through beef and all that.
hold on a minute.
So
You have a problem with them going extinct because of food supply? What do you
yes,
mean by that?
I mean that cows are easier to breed and slaughter
So
and
what does
eat
that have to do with food
than would
supply?
be. I'm saying the more cows we have, the more domesticated cows we have that we are breeding, that we are farming, that we are eating. That's food supply.
Yeah, so
That's going to get cut off when a vast majority of them go extinct.
I don't see
So
your
like I said,
point.
Can
if
I
we can
propose?
logistically come up with a way to replace that to
We
replace that
do.
food supply,
We do.
what is it?
Plants. What are you talking about? We have
And how long does
plants.
that take? How long does that take
You're just gonna
usually?
die or something? We're
No, no,
just
Um
no.
gonna like
How long does that take? If you're just
wait. You're asking how
purely
long.
supplying no, if you're purely supplying a country of 350 million people with just plants, how
Yeah.
long would that take?
A lot less time than it would take to grow plants to feed animals, to raise them, and then to unalive them and eat them. What are you talking
Mm,
about?
Can I propose one thing, Blake? Imagine that this was a non-issue. Okay, just hypothetically speaking,
it
imagine
is a
that this is a
non-issue.
non-issue. And can we discuss about the commodity status of animals that you see? Why do you think it's okay to commodify cows, for example? Cows are sentient beings. You know, they have emotions, feelings. They want to live just as much as you, and they want to be free just as much as you. Why do you think it's
They're
okay
not
to
on the same level.
exploit
You
them?
guys keep comparing animals to humans like we're on the same level, and we're not.
No, I'm not saying they're on the same level, right? Like Blake, I'm clearly more intelligent than you, but that does not mean I get to exploit you, right? So the question is, why do you think it's okay to exploit individuals that have a lower intelligence?
So you're saying exploit individuals like you're talking about humans, though, and you just said you're not comparing them to humans, but you're talking about them like they're humans.
Like, do you not
You make
understand that
no sense to me
individuals?
right now. Like you're making no
I
sense.
understand.
You're
I
contradicting
understand it's
yourself
very
here.
difficult. I understand it's very difficult for
No,
you,
it's
but pay
very
attention,
difficult when you
okay?
contradict yourself. Yes.
Sure. Blake, so an individual doesn't have to be necessarily of the species Homo sapiens, right? An individual is just somebody who experiences life,
Animals are not
somebody who
individuals.
has a. So humans are animals, and thus humans are not individuals, correct?
No, I mean that's
Oh,
not what I
okay.
said. No,
You said
that's not what
animals
I
are
said
not
at all.
individuals. Humans are part of the group of animals. Therefore,
Humans
humans
are
are not
obviously a
individuals.
way different species than a cow or a pig or a sheep.
Oh, so some animals are individuals and some animals aren't individuals. Can you
Human
explain?
beings are individuals. Yes,
Yeah. So can you explain?
livestock are not
Blake,
individuals. They do
sure.
not have their
Blake.
own. What?
Blake, sure. But listen, we have to do this in good faith, okay? So you have to slow down for a second. However we call them, you acknowledge that they, just as much as an individual, have emotions, have feelings, they experience life, they want to live, they want to feel love, they want to have a family, everything that we want out of life. Liberty, love, and the pursuit of happiness. They want all that. So what makes you think it's okay to take away all that from them and exploit them?
Because humans have authority over animals.
Sure, but like Blake, would you say that if a different species would have authority over humans, would it be okay for them to do that to humans?
I mean, poachers get eaten by lions, dude. It happens.
Blake, would you find it okay if a different species have authority over humans, right? If they have the power to exploit humans, would
You're
you find
bringing up
it
an impossible
moral?
hypothetical because there's no other species
Sure.
on Earth that
I'm
has
sure,
authority over humans.
Blake. I'm sure that in your imagination, it's extremely difficult to imagine that somebody could have more
Well, no,
power
I
than
just choose
humans.
not to use
But I'll make it simple
imagination
for
when
you.
we're talking about
Yeah. I'm sure, Blake.
when we're
But I'll
talking
make
about.
it.
I don't bring up
Yeah.
imagination when I'm trying to
Sure, Blake.
argue facts and logic.
Sure,
It's kind
Blake.
of stupid to do.
Sure, Blake. But have you heard of Superman? Because Superman, I'm sure you know, he's
Yes, and
like.
Superman's fictional.
Yeah.
You're
But
bringing up a
he's a
fictional
fictional.
character for your
Yes,
argument.
I
Are you
am.
fucking
Yes.
insane?
Yes, I am. I am bringing up a fictional character just to explain a point of view. Imagine if
You
Superman
can't
existed.
explain a real world point of view with a fictional character. How are you going to do that?
Blake, can you imagine if Superman existed and he had power over all humans? Would it be
Yes,
justified
I
if
can imagine it,
Superman
but it would never
chose
happen,
to?
so there's no point in
Sure,
bringing up an impossible
sure.
hypothetical.
I'm
You're
sure
bringing up an
about that.
impossible hypothetical with a fictional character for
I
your
don't think he's
argument
a good
about
fit. It's
Yeah, you
very
know what,
world
difficult to have
Blake?
any
situations.
conversation.
Blake, we're not going to be able
It's
to have a
it's
conversation.
ridiculous.
Bro's
That's a
Sorry.
tired.
ridiculous.
Right, Blake can't even stay quiet. He keeps interrupting. Yeah, we're not going to be able to have a conversation with somebody who doesn't understand hypotheticals. Hypotheticals are important in conversations like this because it determines what your moral view is. So, yeah, if you can't answer a simple hypothetical, then there's just no point. And I don't think he was even listening anyway because he was just talking and not listening. So. We will move on. Next up, we have Boosie. I don't know. Maybe I butchered that. Hey, are you over 18?
I am.
Awesome. Sorry, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Boosie or?
Pussy.
Oh, Boosie. So I said it right. Okay. So, first of all, what is your understanding of veganism, Boosie?
People who don't consume animal products at all for whatever reason, usually ethical reason.
Yes, so that is one consequence of being vegan. But the actual definition is the principle that we should live without exploiting other animals. So it's not just about what we consume. We wouldn't use animals in any way that goes against their interests. So, wearing their skin, using cosmetics that are tested on them, using them for labour or for entertainment or sport or, anything like that. So do you think that we should respect other animals?
It's hard to say because I was born a psychopath, believe it or not. I don't actually have any feelings or empathy for any other creature, not even other people. I
Okay.
find this stuff really fascinating. I love to learn about how other human beings work, how they feel
Yeah.
about animals, how they feel about all these kind of topics. So eating
Yeah.
meat for me is not a problem.
Okay.
It doesn't even
Yeah.
go to my
I mean,
mind.
why would it be a problem for you?
I just love to understand.
Yeah.
I just find this stuff fascinating.
Well, I mean, as long as you have logic, we can still work with that.
Yeah.
So Boosie, because I understand that it's not a problem for you, but do you understand that it's a problem for them? for the victims?
I mean, I suppose because they don't get to live anymore.
Okay. So do you understand, okay, so although you say you don't feel empathy for others, do you understand that people still deserve respect, because, well, they're sentient, they care about what happens to them, they have feelings, they can suffer. Do you agree that we should live in a world where we respect each other?
Sorry,
So,
this is just
and
a
by
really difficult
respect,
thing for me.
Boosie,
I get
wait,
what you're saying,
hold
but I
on,
just
hold
don't
on.
feel it.
Yeah. So by respect, I mean consider each other's interests. So do you think that we should consider each other's interests?
That depends. Without trying to be mean, what can these animals benefit me? What can they give me if I don't eat them?
Well, what can I give you if you don't eat me?
Uh,
What do I do for you?
I don't
Why
know.
do they have to do something for
What
you?
skills have
Why?
you got? Like what
No,
skills have you
I haven't
got?
got
If I
any.
need something doing, you got some great
I haven't
skills,
got
and
any skills at all.
then probably
I can't.
nothing.
Okay, so therefore, should should I be exploited?
Again, it depends if you've got any value to me. If you've got
Like
no
I said,
value to me, about the same.
I've got no
Like from a
value
psychopath
whatsoever.
point of view, you've got the same. If you've got no skill or value to me, you're about as equal as one of the pigs in the field. I don't
Sure.
that mean that as a horrible way. Like
No, no,
you're
no,
about the
no.
same.
I value your honesty. So in that case, do you agree that I shouldn't have rights? I shouldn't have, and by rights I mean like the right to my life, the right to my own body autonomy, the right to not be exploited, to not have my life taken away.
Um,
So should I
I
not have
think
those rights because I can't
I
provide
think
anything to you?
anything which is useful has value and should be
Oh my
kept,
days,
and then
Boosie,
anything which isn't
I've told
useful.
you, I'm not useful at all. I'm
You
not
must
one
be
bit
able to do
useful.
something.
No, no,
Have
no.
you
I
have?
can't. I
Are you
can't.
completely useless? Like genuinely?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I've got no skills, no education, no nothing. I don't.
I struggle to
I don't
believe
provide.
that.
I
I
don't
believe
provide
every
any
human being
value
has
at
something
all.
good.
I don't
I
provide
don't.
any
Bussy,
value.
yeah, so Bussy, I can make it easy for you. There's people who are born with a disease called hydroencephaly, where they're missing parts of their brain. These people, not only that they cannot do anything for society, but a lot of the times they have to be taken care of. So they're actually a little bit of a burden on society because we have to consume resources to keep them alive, and they cannot possibly provide anything to
We
society.
should eat those people too, like the livestock. That would solve some of the problems.
So you're in favor of unaliving and eating intellectually challenged human beings?
No, absolutely not. No,
Severely challenged
You
intellectually
no.
just
I'm
said
just
challenged.
that.
jesting.
You
I'm
just said
jesting.
that, lol.
I don't believe that really.
Wait, so what about people with hydroencephaly? Should we eat them as you just said now?
No, definitely no.
But you just said that, so you were
Yeah,
joking? What
but
was?
well, if I'm in hospital and I need an organ transplant and one of these guys are like
No, no, no,
dying or
no.
something,
Just
I can
answer
take
the
a kidney
question
off
and
them,
don't make
surely.
up some weird hypothetical and go on a monologue. Answer Chip's question.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
Bussy,
sure.
okay, let's do this. Do you think for those people we should the minute that somebody needs an organ transplant, we should unalive them and take their organs?
That's definitely one for the philosophers, isn't it? That's
Well,
definitely
what
one
do
to
you
think
think?
about.
What do you think? Because
Um,
you said you're a psychopath. You said you have no problem unaliving
yeah,
humans.
yeah, but there's certain things I can and can't say without getting in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, there's
So
certain
you
things
would
I
be
can't
okay
go
with
ahead and
that.
say.
So you would be okay with that.
It's not that I would be okay or not okay with it. Logically speaking, if something has no value to me, it might as well not exist. But it doesn't mean that I would advocate the killing and murder of things. Absolutely not. I would never advocate for anything like that.
No. But like in this context, they would actually provide you with value the minute that they're unalived. So that means that you unaliving them gives you more value. So you would be okay with unaliving them.
I'll have to think about that one.
Well, the thing is, in Chip's hypothetical, you can get a organ transplant from an alternative source that doesn't involve the exploitation or the unaliving of any humans. Do you see where we're going with that?
I believe I do.
I don't
Yeah.
think Pussy's being honest, by the way. I think this is just nonsense. And
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing. So you've said in the human context, Busi, that you wouldn't be in favour of unaliving or oppressing those individuals based on the fact that they're born and have no value to you, right? So if we apply that in the animal context, right? So these animals, they are also sentient. They don't provide any value to you that you can't get from elsewhere. Why would you be in favour for exploiting and oppressing them, but not in the human context?
I'm basically coming on here because I just want to understand how
but
other
you said
people feel about it.
you said you're a psychopath, so you should have no problem admitting to the fact that you would unalive these specific humans to harvest their organs.
I mean, there's theoretical thinking and then there's actually carrying it out. I don't have the predisposition to commit violence on anyone. I'm not a violent person.
No, but you would have no problem with it. It's not you committing the violence. You would pay somebody to do it for you, and you would have no problem doing that.
No. It's more of, to quote Stewie Griffin from Family Guy, it's not that I want someone to die, it's that I wish someone didn't exist anymore.
Okay, so Bussy, just to be clear, because you I'm sorry, David. Like you were asked a very interesting question, right? So you for some reason, when it comes to humans harvesting humans, bringing humans into existence who are intellectually challenged, severely intellectually challenged or something, and using their organs to save humans or benefit for humanity, you would clearly don't have such a straight answer that you have no problem with it. But when it comes to other animals, you have a pretty clear and straight answer that you absolutely have no problem with it. So what exactly is the difference between...
It comes down to it. It comes down to the fact that I feel as if humans have more value to me, whether it's some sort of deep psychological background, subconscious thought. It's like when the host told me she has no skills whatsoever and that she has no value. I have much more difficult time believing that coming from a human mouth who I can read the intelligence of, that I can see the contents of, that I can
but as we just established,
engage with. I
no,
can't
I'm sorry.
engage with a swine,
I'm sorry,
but I
Bruce,
can
but
engage
that
with
is
a person.
false. That is false, because the humans that have been proposed, you cannot speak to. You cannot, and they have no level of intelligence. In fact, the doctors, the scientists, or whoever you're speaking to would confirm that they have the same level, maybe even lower of that of another animal. So no, your position isn't that. So even when you cannot speak to them, even when you cannot do anything about them, the only thing you have in common with them is that you are both have a similar shape. That means you sit on two legs, have two hands and a head above all of that, and you kind of walk in a similar manner. In fact, some of those people can't even walk, by the way. But the question is, why exactly do you have a problem or a resistance when it comes to these humans, but you don't have any resistance when it comes to, for example, a pig or a dog doing the same thing to them?
Probably because human meat's full of human pathogens and diseases. Like, we can't eat
Not
human,
at all.
can we?
Not at all. Yes, we can. As long as you don't eat the brain, you have no problem.
You might be giving him some ideas. Hey, so Boosie, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you taken lives before?
Never in a million years. Like I said, I'm not a violent person. I don't like the idea of hurting people.
So I mean animal lives, other animal lives.
Oh, never.
No?
No.
Have you ever witnessed what takes place to animals?
Oh, yeah, I've seen lots of videos online, like PETA and stuff.
So, but you haven't seen like the actual process of the animal going into slaughter?
I've seen halal videos where the butchers get a blade and go over the neck. I've seen ones in UK butchers where they get a bolt gun between the eyes and put the animal to sleep.
Sleep. You
I'm
think
just
it
trying
puts
to
them
avoid
asleep?
getting a TikTok ban. If what
Yeah,
words can
it
I say and not say?
immobilizes
Like,
them. What it
what's
does
the
is
right
it
terminology
immobilizes.
to use? Because I don't want to get any
Yeah,
strikes on the
it,
thing.
it immobilizes them, so
Okay,
they can't
immobilizes
move.
them.
Yeah, so it's like they're paralyzed almost, but they can
Yeah,
still feel. What do you think about that?
it wouldn't be particularly pleasant for the animal. But then again,
Yeah.
I am vegan, so I wouldn't eat meat anyway.
So you're vegan.
Uh
What?
huh. I
I
just
don't
want to
think you
understand the
are.
logic of other vegans. I'm vegan because my parents were vegan.
Sorry,
Wait,
Boosie. I
did you
don't.
just want to waste our time?
No, I
Pretty
don't think
much.
he is vegan because when I asked him what the
Pretty much.
definition of vegan, he just said that it was somebody who doesn't eat animal products. So I had to explain what veganism was. So I don't think he is vegan.
Well, he also said when Chip asked if he was here to waste our time, he said pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, let's move on
it
then.
it it was pretty fun. Have a nice life, guys.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna move on. Maybe he isn't even a sociopath or a psychopath or whatever is said, but yeah, I do prefer to have honest conversations, you guys. I mean, I don't. It's not like the end of the world because other people can benefit from hearing these conversations. But yeah, I prefer to speak to honest people. Um, Community Fix, are you over OT?
Hello, hello. Yes, 34.
Awesome. So yeah, can we just clarify what your understanding is of veganism first of all?
Yeah, veganism is about exploitation of animals. I
Mm-hmm.
also think that veganism can also be expressed through religion. Um,
What do you mean?
there, so I know that there are different definitions, but generally it is about exploitation
Yeah,
of animals.
avoiding exploiting other animals. So, do you think that we should respect other animals?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. I think that we're all connected.
Okay.
Um, and I definitely think that we should. The problem is that it's very hard
Okay. So, do you think that it is possible to respect them and exploit them at the same time?
to respect them and exploit them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you, um, I think you've got to have the lens that you're exploiting them.
What do you mean?
So, for example, I think that a lot of people don't know how the food gets to them.
Oh no no no!
Um,
But do you know? Because I'm asking
I
you. Do you think this? So, based on
yeah.
what you
So
know, is it possible to respect them and exploit them at the same time?
So there are a lot of things that are loaded in what I know as well. So my entire life, um, growing up, knowing that you know you like it's almost like smoking, isn't it? You build a habit, and then you find out that wow, this is really bad for me. It's bad for me because of my experiences of now learning that animals are being exploited, and then trying to change those things. And then there's the catalyst of what causes you to change those things. Because I have tried being a vegan before,
Okay,
and
right.
definitely
Sorry.
practice it every now and again.
Yeah, I think we're just getting a bit ahead of ourselves here. So I'm just asking if you think that it's possible to respect them and exploit them. I mean, based on the fact that you said you've tried going vegan before, I would say maybe not. So maybe veganism aligns more with your views. And
I do think that this is the thing. I do think that people can be dismissive, especially if you're a vegan, to not maybe understand. For example, I've seen like people in the street trying to convince somebody who maybe have religious reasons that back it, and they'll ignore what they might specifically say, even if they're expressing something that is a belief system to them. And I think that that's the problem, that we don't really respect even like
okay,
just
Right.
people in
Sorry.
general.
Sorry. I'm just going to ask you the question one last time because it seems like you're just going off on like. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I just really want to understand your morals, what your ethical framework is. Do you think it's respectful to exploit other animals? By exploit, I mean to use them against their own interests. It's
It's
just
definitely,
yes or no.
I think, yes,
You think that we can
unfortunately.
respect them and exploit them at the same time?
I think so. I think that's what's
Okay.
happening.
Right, so if somebody was exploiting you, so if they were treating you in a way that went against your interests and they didn't need to, so they were using you for your body, would that be respectful to you? Could that ever be respectful towards you?
It definitely could. So I'll give an example. People getting paid very low wages. I think that people would get exploited in that way. I also think that
Wait, and you think that that's respectful?
no.
Right,
I
so
think so. So let me get
right, so
let
I'm
me try to get.
my question was,
I know that you've
is
got
it is it
like a
respectful for somebody
specific
to exploit
only.
you?
Right. So I'm trying to say that those questions, they are more loaded than you might think they are.
Oh, they're
But
very
I
very
do.
simple. But yeah, I think I'm done here. I don't know if David or Chip want to ask anything because
I mean,
I mean,
maybe
wait a
you
minute.
get
Wait a minute.
annoyed.
You said it's okay to exploit innocent animals. So I have this thing that I like doing. I bring dogs into existence. In the age of 2 years old, I unalive them and then I use their body as a punching bag. I give them an excellent life, and when I unalive them, I pew them in the back of the head. They instantly die and they don't feel any pain. Would you say that what I'm doing is right or is it wrong?
Of course, it's wrong. There's
Oh,
like
it's wrong. But
rules.
why
Yeah.
would that be wrong? I'm doing it obviously for health reasons, since I need to exercise. I get my exercise in, I will live longer. So why is that wrong?
Are there laws in place for that?
No, the laws allow me to do so.
I don't think that you can just pew a dog.
No. The laws definitely allow me to do so. That's what I'm. This is the hypothetical that I'm proposing. Yes.
If it's just a hypothetical, then I find it hard to. Just so you know, I find it difficult to say in that hypothetical. I'm using real world.
Is it
Like,
right or is it wrong? I'm not interested
of course it's wrong,
in you. It's
but I
wrong.
do
Okay.
think
So
so.
as I just explained, I need to work out. So why is it wrong?
Yeah, so I'm trying to say, right,
No,
that
I'm not interested in you dodging the hypothetical and saying this is hypothetical, not a real scenario.
guys
None of
have
that
a
matters, okay?
discussion.
So can
Don't.
you please explain to me
You're
why
not
is it wrong?
convincing anyone this way.
Sure,
It's
sure,
not
sure, sure,
very
sure.
good if
But
you
why
do
is it
stuff like
wrong?
that.
Sure, sure, sure. But why is it wrong?
I prefer having a discussion. If you don't want to have a discussion, then
I'm 100% sure that you know
if it's
better
not in
how to convince
agreement
people
with
to go
you,
vegan.
I guess if it's not in agreement with you, you just sort of dismiss whatever anybody's saying. So
Yeah,
if it's
yeah, yeah,
somebody's
yeah.
religious belief,
Yeah,
you're like,
sure.
wow, that's
Sure,
terrible.
sure, sure. Sure, I'm sure about that. But why is it wrong for me to unalive a
Well,
dog?
it's wrong. It's wrong if you are saying to just simply get rid of something that people already consider a domestic thing.
Oh,
So
no. As I just explained to you, I go to a country, like there's countries in this world, like China, for example, and I do that there.
you
Or
know,
I'm sorry, I think Vietnam is that country where they do that, not China. So in Vietnam, you can unalive dogs actually for this reason. So if I choose to do that in Vietnam, and I do it for this reason, you're saying it's moral, correct? It's okay. It's
no,
no
that's
longer
not what
bad.
I'm saying. What I'm saying
Oh,
is that
okay. So why is it wrong then?
okay, what I'm saying is that we live in a world where morals, right, is not considered at the moment. There's certain things that are considered as like a universal truth almost. And I think that, say, for example, from one country to another, countries can
Why
agree
is
to
it
things
wrong?
like
Why is
polygamy.
it wrong? Can
You're
you
getting
please
very
can
impatient, mate. Let me finish
Yeah,
my.
because I'm trying to ask you a
I would
question
listen
and
to
you're
you.
dodging the question. And for the last time, and afterwards, I'm no longer engaging in this conversation with you. Why is it wrong for me to pew
You're
pew
an
a dog
idiot.
in the back of the head?
You're just an idiot. You don't want to have a discussion. Bye, mate.
okay. Yeah, Chip, you're an idiot because I can't answer your question.
How dare you, Chip, want to work out that way?
How dare you repeat the question that he didn't want to answer? Oh. nowadays.
appealing to legality is just such a cringe thing. But whatever.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and monologuing for like trying to figure out his answer while he's monologuing. That was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I tried to be so patient, but I had to repeat my question like 3 times. Okay, let's get the next guest.
Jem, maybe
Naylev.
can just out of
Sorry,
curiosity,
go ahead,
maybe you
Chip.
can ask people. Do you think out of curiosity you can ask people also if they're interested in debating or they actually are want to have a decent conversation? Because I think like a lot of people are just here to debate.
Yeah, I did say that at the start. I'm interested in speaking to open-minded people, but yeah, I'll check that when they come up. So Naylev, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Awesome.
I mean, it makes sense that
Are
people. It makes sense
are
that
you in?
people attack your
Sorry,
stance, right? Oh, sorry.
are
Go
you
ahead.
interested in like an honest, open conversation?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Okay. Sorry. Before you go, I know you were going to say something. Before you do say that, can we just clarify what your understanding is of veganism?
Veganism is an ethical stance.
What ethical stance?
You guys suppose that it's wrong to unnecessarily harm animals?
To exploit them. We would be against harming them, but it's veganism. Harming animals. You could say that by virtue of existence, we harm each other unintentionally. So, but yeah, it's against exploitation. So using them against their interests. So, were you going to say something?
No, go ahead. You
Okay.
stopped off the
So,
convo.
do you think that we should respect other animals?
To some extent, yeah, sure.
Okay. Do you think we should respect other humans?
Also, sure, yeah.
Okay. So when I say other animals, you say to some extent. When I say to humans, okay, maybe I should clarify what I mean by respect, because I'm just curious as to why there's like 2 different answers. So by respect, I don't mean like maybe there would be like a difference in how you treat a human versus how you would treat another animal. But by respect, I mean consider their interests. So do you think that we should consider the interests of other animals?
Yeah, again, to some extent, I wouldn't consider their interests above mine, for example, or other humans, for that sake.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't say that if you're considering somebody else above you, like that wouldn't be respect. I mean, like unnecessarily exploiting them without considering what it is that they want.
Okay.
So is that so? Okay. So you do think we should respect other animals? Obviously, as long as it's not coming to a detriment to yourself. Can we agree with that?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay. And do you think that you can truly respect them and exploit them at the same time?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So let's say if somebody was exploiting you, so they were using you for your body, could that ever be respectful towards you? So maybe they're using you for your flesh, for your skin, for their entertainment. It's against your interests. They have an alternative. Could that ever be respectful towards you?
I mean, my interest is irrelevant to that person, but if necessity was shown, then yeah, sure.
Well, your interest is relevant if they want to respect you or not. If their morals say that this person deserves respect, then of course it's relevant.
But that's all based on preference, though. That's not objective.
Yeah, but
Right.
they're
I don't believe I make moral decisions based on a logical way of thinking or reasoning. Right. I believe that. I mean, whenever I go or watch Dominion, for example, I mean, there's an innate thing. It's my intuition that's telling me, right, this is wrong. This isn't the proper way to raise animals. I'm not consciously thinking about the harm that I'm committing. I mean, my
okay.
moral
Sure.
beliefs
Wait.
come from an innate set of preferences that I have.
Yeah. So what was your response when I asked if it would be respectful for them to exploit you for your body?
I mean, if the necessity was shown, I wouldn't say that's wrong.
No.
per se.
I already said there's no necessity. So they're exploiting
is
you
necessity.
against your interest. There's no necessity. Is it respectful?
If there were no necessity, then sure. But yeah, there's proven necessity in harming animals, right? Or in
Wait,
exploiting
no.
them for that.
So we're talking about exploiting. So are you saying that we
Yeah.
have a necessity to exploit other animals?
Yeah. I would make the claim that a plant-based diet isn't adequate in nutrients.
Right,
And
I
to
see.
thrive, you want to be on a plant-based diet.
So you think it's a necessity to exploit other animals for food, but for no other purpose?
To be optimally healthy, yeah, I do believe that.
Okay, so
Do you have any evidence for that claim?
But I mean, if you're consuming these animals in the first place, why not use their other body parts, such as their bones?
Nelev, do you have any evidence for the claim that you cannot be optimally healthy on a plant-based diet?
In comparison to the diet that I would advocate for, yeah, I guess I could.
Do you have any empirical evidence, like a study or something like that? Can you mention a name?
Do you know what empirical evidence means?
Also, I think he dodged the necessity thing if it wasn't necessary.
Yeah, so Nelev, I'm looking for data. I'm not looking for total evidence. I'm looking for maybe, top of the pyramid of evidence. You know what the pyramid of evidence is, right?
Sure, the hierarchy of evidence, yeah, sure.
Yeah, like a systemic review, something like that.
Okay. Do you know that plant-based diet is missing 15 nutrients?
Nelev, I'm not looking for more statements. I'm looking for evidence. So we literally, we don't need to go into a whole conversation about this. I didn't even want to interrupt. I just want to be sure. Do you have any evidence for that claim? That you cannot be healthy on a plant-based diet? Or is that just something that you think yourself?
No, yeah, it's a statement that I'm making. I can never provide you with 100% certainty that this is. I mean,
do you have any form of evidence for this claim?
Yeah, sure. I could refer to the Randall cycle, which you would upregulate on a plant-based diet on every
No.
year.
I'm interested again in the form of a study, some form of data on, that has a particular number of people that was studied on something, not an opinion, not anecdotal evidence, some form of evidence.
There's no control group for the diet that I advocate for.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't have to have a control group necessarily, right?
How would you study that? How would you study the diet and form?
Yeah, sure. We can look at health outcomes. It doesn't have to have not only randomized control trials. We have systemic reviews. We have meta-analysis. We have a lot of stuff. We have cohort studies. I'm just looking for anything. Do you have any form of evidence that you cannot be healthy on a plant-based diet? Because I have meta-analysis saying that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet.
Which is based on the general populace, right? What control group did they use? Which people?
Yeah, it's based on the general populace. Yeah,
by the way, you saying that there's no necessity or no need for a control group. That's what do you mean?
No. I'm interested. So I'm not interested, Nelev. I'm not interested in any of that. Do you have any evidence for the claim that you cannot be healthy, optimally healthy on a plant-based diet? Because again, I have a systemic review with meta-analysis of observational studies. Do you have anything better than that?
Yeah. I can show you. Which
okay, give me a name. Give me a name of the study, or a PMID.
I mean, yeah, sure. Okay, wait.
Am I gonna die? I've been vegan for 12 years. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh my god!
No, you'll slowly malnourish yourself and run into health issues.
Sure, buddy.
Yeah. That's not what the evidence says, but he obviously knows better than the scientific consensus.
Yeah, sure. Wait, I'll refer the study to you about the Randall cycle.
Yeah. So by the way, do you trust experts on this matter, or do you trust?
No, I would rather look into the data myself instead.
Oh, okay. So you don't trust experts. We see, but that's the difference between us and you.
I trust
Nelev, because you see, even if you do show me a study, whatever you do, I'll read through it, I'll look through it, and I'll try to find my opinion on it. But just like everybody else on this panel, none of us are experts. And what we do is we look at the experts who read studies, who do studies, and who know better than all of us. who are smarter than all of us, and we trust whatever it is that they say on the matter. And the fact of the matter is that the largest organizations of nutritionists and dietitians on the planet, not just one but several, in fact most of them, say that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet, and yes, indeed optimally healthy on a plant-based diet. So Nadav, that means that your statement that you cannot in fact be healthy on a plant-based diet is against the scientific consensus of the experts in the field. So you trying to come up with with some form of a study or something that you have yet to provide will not really prove anything. And even if you do provide, I'm pretty sure, because we've been doing this for a long time, I'm pretty sure it will just be like some form of a straw man where you will have to draw a certain conclusion from it, like everyone else has. And at the end of the day, you'll bite the bullet and say the same thing. Yes, indeed, a well-planned plant-based diet can indeed be optimally healthy, which is the case.
Bro. Why do you keep rambling instead of going point for point and letting me?
Sure. So Nelev, please provide the evidence.
Chip, I just got to say that I actually have been called to be an expert witness.
What is this?
Twice.
Why can I not get any points in? You're appealing to authority randomly, blindly.
Nelev, no, Nelev, appealing to authority is not when you appeal to the experts in the matter. If I ask a doctor on what's best for my health, that's not appealing to authority, brother.
Like if Chip said, okay, I'm a nutritionist and I know better than you, then he would be appealing to authority.
Exactly.
He's not saying that, right?
Exactly.
If Chip said, like, I'm jacked and I could crush you with my biceps, then he would be appealing to that, right? So he's not doing that. He's actually allowing you to provide evidence, which it seems like you can't actually do.
When you, bro,
wait, Nelev, how about we do this? Nelev, how about we do this? You drop out of the panel, you find the evidence, and then you come back when you have the panel.
I have a few right here. I can list the PMD.
Okay, what's the name of the? Sure.
Give me a sec. I have to open my browser real quick.
Oh, okay. So you don't have it yet. So Nadav, let's just go by this. If you found out that you can't be,
if you give me 20 seconds, I'll have it, bro. Chill. I mean, you guys seem pretty emotionally driven, to be honest. Not to offend
Thank you. Thank you. I use emotions. I mean, nobody in the history of time has ever used emotions.
Yeah. I mean, David, asking for evidence is emotionally driven. Asking for evidence for a claim that is going against the scientific consensus or the experts on the matter is obviously emotionally driven. But Nelev knows better. He knows what a fallacy is. That's why he used the wrong fallacy.
I look into the data myself. I don't.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I think
you know that like offhand though, right away. Like if you were coming up to debunk or make this, like it like right offhand, right?
There's a. I'll link you. I'll list you a few Randall Cycle reviews. Okay, there's the first one. It's the PMID is 7821731.
782. Say that again. 782.
1731.
Okay, let's start with the phone. Mice carrying a schizophrenia-associated mutation. I don't think that's the one.
Wait.
This is about methamphetamine. 7821731 has nothing to do with what you just...
7821731. That's mechanisms modifying glucose oxidation in diabetes.
Okay, wait. This thing search.
7821731.
And Naylor, while Chip's looking that up, can I just ask, like, if you were satisfied, as the guy that you are, that you could live healthy and optimal on a plant-based diet, like if you were completely satisfied, would you then agree that you should live vegan?
Yeah, but it's not possible.
But you said, yeah, you would though, right?
Yeah, but it's not possible because it's just not
so
possible.
You don't believe in hypotheticals.
Can I just ask? So Nelev, are you open?
I do, but your hypothetical doesn't.
Sorry, Nelev, can I ask you a question? Are you open to being wrong about this?
I opened the.
I debate a lot of vegans, to be honest, just to be
sure.
Put it out there.
I opened the study, the mechanisms modifying glucose oxidation in diabetes mellitus. Is that it?
Yeah.
The glucose fatty acid, and this is supposed to say that a plant-based diet cannot be optimally healthy, right?
Yeah, because you upregulate the Randall cycle. You always be in competition.
Okay. So it doesn't say that a plant-based diet cannot be healthy. Okay, thank you. Do you have a study that does say that a plant-based diet cannot be optimally healthy, as you mentioned?
There's no such studies.
Oh, exactly. But there is, in fact, a study that says that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet. In
But the
fact, we
studies
have
are
several studies saying that, right?
studies are flawed though. They don't
Hang
account
on.
for
Oh, the
confounders.
studies are flawed, but
Yeah, yeah.
you know
Naylev.
so much better than the studies.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do.
so
List the studies out to me, and I can
Naylev,
show you how they're flawed.
I didn't get an answer to my question. I asked you, are you open to being wrong about this?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. If
You
you
are.
can, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm absolutely open to be wrong. I'm not
Okay.
Nah,
closed-minded about this. Neither am I emotionally driven. I just look at the data and make a consensus, right? I don't.
Well,
That's
but
all
we
I
have
do.
data that says you can be optimally healthy on a plant-based diet, which is why the
Yeah,
largest organizations of nutritionists and dietitians say that. Like,
which is correlative self-report data based on the general populace, right? So
no, it's
the
based
data
on
is
all of
extremely
the
flawed.
information that we currently have.
It's not.
So, yes,
It's
it
not.
is. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, they look at all of the information, all of the studies that we have, and that is the outcome of all of the information that we have to date, is that we can be
So how do you
healthy.
believe
A plant-based
how do you
diet can be
believe?
healthy and nutritious for all stages of life.
I mean, since you're so well informed on these studies, what do they research
I'm
specifically?
not.
How do they come to this
These are
census?
I'm saying that we should listen to the experts, the dietetic consensus. This is what they're saying based on all of the information that we have.
I
But
don't think this
why not
person
look
is
into the
in
data
good
yourself,
intent
though?
here, by the way. I think this person is just here to debate on something
Yeah.
that he actually cannot even substantiate because he cannot provide the data, in fact. He
Just
provided a study
because,
that has absolutely nothing to do with plant-based diets.
of
He's
course,
just drawing a conclusion. In fact, I put your study in yes, believe it or not, because I don't want to read this whole study and there's a lot of it that goes over my head. What I did is I did put your study that you provided, I put it in Claude, and I asked, does this study mention anything about a plant-based diet? And it does not. It has
bro.
nothing to do with any of it.
Claude's
So
not real, man.
so I just generally like maybe it has something to do with low carb keto thing, but you can do that also on a plant-based diet. So I fail to see like you see you have absolutely no evidence or no quality evidence, and you don't trust the experts
Of
on the
course I do.
matter. I don't think you're in like I just think you're a type of person who thinks they're more intelligent than they actually are, when in fact we should trust the experts. Like
No,
you just seem like that type of person.
I don't think I'm that smart at all, to be honest.
So then why wouldn't you trust the experts on the matter? Do you think you know better than a dietitian?
I mean, I can take into consideration the data myself, right? Instead
Nadav,
of
do you know better
blindly.
than a whole organization of dietitians?
It depends on what.
On a particular diet, when it portrays to a certain diet, do you know better than a whole organization of 1,000 or more than 1,000 dietitians?
Yeah, sure. The conclusions that they're making are clearly wrong. So yeah,
So
sure.
you know better than the whole dietitians. Can you explain why their conclusions are wrong?
Because the research that they do is flawed.
Okay, can you explain why the research that they do is flawed?
Because they don't account for confounders. It's correlative data, which is
Of
self-reported.
course they do.
They don't.
Again, you see, you think you're more intelligent than everyone. You have this main character syndrome by claiming that you somehow you take all the confounding variables into consideration. No, a lot of these studies do the same thing.
It's
You know,
impossible. It's impossible to take
and just FYI, that doesn't even matter because you know why? The reason why what matters is health outcomes in all of this is because we've long discovered that diet and health are extremely complex, right? So
Yeah,
when you
true.
do
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
when you do 500,000 people worth of observations, you can kind of draw a conclusion that's fairly safe. And when on 500,000 of people, we see that the ones on the plant-based diet not only lived longer and were healthier, we can at least draw the conclusion that you can at least be healthy on a plant-based diet. I'm not even saying that you will be healthier, but rather that you can at least be healthy. Wouldn't it be safe to
Okay,
assume when half a million people...
you can sustain yourself, sure. But why? Can we
So
go
you can
point
be
for point
healthy on a
instead of
plant-based diet.
you
If
can
you're
sustain
admitting,
yourself, you can
sorry,
survive. You're not gonna die instantly.
Naylev,
You're not gonna die in 10 years.
if you're admitting you can sustain yourself on a plant-based diet, then that goes against what you initially said, that it's necessary to exploit other animals. So
No, I claim that it's a necessity to consume animal products for optimal health, right?
What's
yeah,
the difference
okay.
between optimal health and health?
I mean, as high as possible longevity.
Maybe you
okay,
can
okay. Can you
go
explain?
find a
Reducing chronic
research
illness.
paper that
Nelev, can you
explains.
explain to me which marker of health should we look at that would mean that I can look at for myself
Yeah,
that would tell
sure.
me whether I am healthy or, as you said, optimally healthy?
Yeah, sure. You could look at inflammation markers. You could look at lipid
Which
oxidation.
inflammation markers specifically?
Bro, what are you trying to do here? I mean, you're not gonna.
You said I'm asking. I'm just asking you. I really want to be healthy. So tell me, which inflammation markers can I look at, and what would the implication be? Because when we look at inflammation markers from blood tests, we actually have a thing called a health range. If you're within that range, you're healthy. But you seem to think that there is such a thing as an optimal health. Is there a different range that we're missing?
Who decides what is healthy and what is not healthy? Who decides the
Obviously, the
optimal?
experts, bro. Again, as we've just explained to you
And what
from
is
time
I
to time,
think
it's about the
and
experts.
what is that
I
based
think
on?
Naylor should go
Yeah, I
back
think
to the bro
Man,
chats and
you
debate
guys are
his little
clearly pretty
buddies.
close-minded. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
can't
shall we move
answer
on?
anything really. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're,
All right.
I don't know, like he's rejecting the actual expert opinion of the dietetics and nutritionists, but then he's saying that he doesn't have any data to prove what his claim was, but then his actions are going in favor of what his claim is. So, yeah,
And
I
then
don't
he
know.
went searching for this paper, a study, but he doesn't believe in studies, but
Yeah.
couldn't find the study. And it wasn't even a study that, anyways, yep.
Yeah, like I don't know, like surely if you don't have any data to back up your belief, because I mean, I don't know what else to call it at this point, because it is a belief. If you don't have any actual data to back it up, then why do you support that with your actions? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just you'd at very least be plant-based so that you've got like a neutral stance because you don't know which data to believe. It's just
Right.
Yeah.
And someone said in the chat he was just so hard-headed, and even when we said if you were wrong, like he still was like, well, I'm not wrong, you know.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chip.
No, I mean, like even the study he provided with mechanistic evidence, and he also said afterwards that when it comes to health outcomes, because health is like he actually agreed with me that when we know about nutrition that it's a little bit more complex, and we need to look at health outcomes. And the study that he provided is in fact not looking at health outcomes, but rather mechanistic things. And we already have known for a while that mechanistic studies don't translate well into health outcomes a lot of the time. So it's just ridiculous. He's just like a main character syndrome type of person who is like, I'm smarter than everyone. The scientists have not thought about this. Yes, I know better than the experts. Come on, man. Just trust the experts.
Yeah. Richard said, can I ask you a question? Are those dietitians vegan also? I mean, no.
No.
There might be
Never.
like 2% of them may be vegan, but yeah, this is the dietetic consensus. Like the American and British Dietetic Association, yeah, they're not necessarily vegan, so they have no bias. But I don't know, maybe there is more of them that are like plant-based if they've got more knowledge on it. I don't know. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Next up we have George. Hey George, are you over 18?
Hello.
Hi, are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay. What's your understanding of veganism, first of all?
People who abstain from animal products.
Not just animal products. Yeah, not necessarily. So we wouldn't. It's abstaining from animal exploitation. So we wouldn't exploit them for entertainment as well, or ride horses. So it's not just the product. So yeah, any form of exploitation. So using an animal in a way that goes against their interests, we would reject that. So do you think we should respect other animals?
Yes.
Okay. And do you think that we can truly respect them if we're exploiting them at the same time?
Yes. Not
Okay.
exploiting, but yes.
Wait, what do you mean not exploiting? I'm asking, do you think that it's respectful to exploit them, or can we truly respect them if we're exploiting them?
I think so, somehow.
Okay, so let me put you in that scenario. Let's say if somebody was exploiting you for your body parts, so in the same way that you're exploiting other animals, so they're using you for your flesh or for your skin or for their entertainment, could that ever be ethical? Could that ever be respectful towards you?
No, but
Okay.
humans are not the same as animals, somehow.
Okay, so why is it that it wouldn't be respectful for somebody to exploit you, but it is for you to exploit other animals?
Because humans are of more value.
Humans have more value. What? Yeah. So
Towards
you would.
humans, like in human
Yeah.
society, humans are of more value than animals.
Okay, so the person who's exploiting you, they would have the same amount of value towards you as you do a pig or a cow or a chicken or a sheep or whatever animals you exploit. They would see you the same. So they would see the same value that you have. Let's say, I don't know, where are you from?
I'm from Kenya.
Okay, let's say that they say, people from Kenya, they are in this group to me, and I don't see any value in them, so therefore I'm going to exploit them. So would that be moral for them to do?
No.
Okay, so why is it moral for you to pick a group of individuals and say that you're justified to exploit them based on their group?
One, it's animals have less value than humans.
Yeah, like I said,
But
so
I wouldn't-
I've already put you in that situation. So the person who's exploiting you, George, they don't see the value in you the same way that you don't see the value in other animals. They view
I'm not
you
saying
the same
animals-
as you view them based on a trait that you have, right? That's what you're doing to them. Okay? So you're seeing them as being less valuable because of their species. They see you being less valuable because of your nationality, right? So why is it not moral for them to view you differently because of the body that you're born into, but it is moral for you to view other animals differently because of the body that they're born into?
Because there's a fundamental difference between humans and
Okay, and what's the morally relevant difference that justifies exploiting other animals but wouldn't justify exploiting you?
I think one, animals are human beings, so
Sorry, no, that's circular reasoning, so you're begging the question. What is it about human beings that makes them different from other animals that means that it wouldn't be respectful or ethical to exploit humans, but it is to exploit other animals?
I would say that a human exploiting another human is wrong because one, it's like a dog exploiting another dog. That's wrong.
Okay,
Within
but
the species.
the person who's exploiting you, they don't see humans as equal to them, just like you don't see animals
but I'm
as
still
equal to
human, though.
you, even though you are an animal. So you don't see all animals as being equal to you, even though you are an animal. They don't see all humans as being equal to them, even though they're a human. They see certain humans as being less valuable to them, such as humans from Kenya, right? And you fall into that category. Okay? So why is it not ethical for them to exploit you based on the body that you're born into, that you have no choice, you don't choose where you come from, but it is moral for you to exploit them based on the body that they're born into?
Because we're the same species, even whatever he sees.
It doesn't matter. You are also an animal, just like all the other species, right? But
And I agree.
but you're using that as a justification to exploit them,
That's not my
just like your oppressor would use your nationality as a justification to exploit you in my hypothetical.
But that's not my justification for like animals and
I'm applying your exact logic to a different situation to put you in the position of the victim, right? Your
Yes, I have
oppressor has the same mentality as you. right? The only difference is the reason that they're exploiting you isn't based on your species, it's based on another arbitrary trait, which is your
That's another
nationality.
reason. That's another
So,
reason. I'm talking about species in terms of species.
yes, and they're talking about nationality. So they're choosing a trait, right?
But
So,
that's fundamentally different things.
yeah, no, it's the same mentality, it's the same logic. They're choosing a trait that you have and they're
It's not a
using
trait.
that as a justification to exploit you. It's arbitrary trait.
Okay, then why? I'll use your logic. Then why would we not extend the same grace to plants?
Because they're not sentient.
You see, now you're using a trait. We can use that same argument.
Why would it
But
matter?
George, you were asked a morally relevant trait. Sentience is a morally relevant trait.
Okay, yes, and I also agree that species, people within the same species, cannot
That's not a
exploit
trait.
each other.
That's not a trait. That's
Okay.
a category. But whether you
Yes.
belong to a certain species or not is a type of a category. And how do you even know if somebody's the same species as you? How do you know that?
Because you're human,
How do you know if they're human?
you can mate with them.
Well, wait, you cannot mate with me and create fertile offsprings. So how do you know that I'm a human?
Because you are, and
How?
other people have categorized
How
you
do
as
you
human.
know that?
Other people have categorized you as human. You have an ID,
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So
But you
chips
see,
and not human then? What?
no. So George, the point that we're trying to make, by the way, I hope you understand when we're asking you
Yeah,
these
I understand where
questions,
you're coming
is
from.
where no, George, this isn't the point where we're trying to get some gotchas out of you. This isn't the point where we're trying to, oh, look at that. We're trying to show you that they're really, because you see, I could tell you there's a difference between me and Jem, right? I, for
100%.
example, cut my hair very short. Jem has long hair. I, for example, I'm a little bit, well, way uglier than Jem. Jem is quite pretty. I, for a certain, right, I'm like maybe good at computer engineering. Jem is like not as good as me, right? So there's obviously differences between me and Jem, several, right? But none of these differences justify exploiting one or the other. And we
But you're
acknowledge that
both
there
human,
are
though.
indeed, let me finish, we acknowledge that there are indeed differences between us and other animals. The question is, do these differences justify any form of exploitation? Because if you just claim a certain category that we belong to different categories, well, that's okay
Yeah.
because Jim and I also belong to different categories. I am not a woman, I am a man. I belong to a different biological category than Jem does. So what exactly is, like, what differences would you say between us and other non-human animals would justify the exploitation?
Okay. One, humans have intrinsic value because I believe in human rights. That
But
animals don't.
wait a minute. This whole idea of humans have intrinsic value because I believe in human rights. First of all, that's not intrinsic value, that's extrinsic value because you give them extrinsic value because you said you believe in human rights. If you said, I believe humans have intrinsic value because humans want to live, then I would give you that. But you mentioned a form of extrinsic value. I believe humans have value because I believe in human rights. So before we go down this path, this
Okay.
isn't about just to be clear and to clarify, this isn't about how you can't answer some. We're trying to question your view on this, right? You cannot answer the difference in view or questioning the difference in view by responding with your view, right? That's begging the question, as Jem just explained clearly. We're asking for, as I just named differences between me and Jem, I named differences between me and Jem. I didn't name differences on how I view Jem or how Jem views me or how somebody else views either of us, but rather I just named differences between us and them. Can you name differences between a human and an animal? Like, for instance, an animal walks on four legs or whatever, that actually would justify exploiting them.
Humans have moral agency.
Humans have moral agency. Okay, what else?
We have human relationship and obligations.
We have what? Human relationships.
And obligations, yeah.
Well, so we have relationships. Again, if you claim that we have human relationships, it's again begging the question. So you say we have relationships. Humans have relationships and
No,
obligations.
I'm saying in the sense of people have duties towards other humans and animals, like you have stronger obligations.
So humans have relationships or duties towards other humans. Okay,
Shared humanity. We have a shared humanity.
what does that mean?
That regardless of who you are, whether you have disabilities, we are all considered members of the human community.
Bro, you're just saying all the same
Okay,
things.
okay.
You're just using words to say the fact that they're human. I'm asking you a trait. How do you not understand what it is about a human that it's not true of an animal? What's true of a human that's not true of an animal that makes it okay to not exploit them but exploit an animal?
Okay, I think I've given you two.
Yeah, you've given me two. Humans have moral agency and humans have duty towards other humans. So fairly simple. A baby does not have moral agency. Do you agree?
I don't think it does.
Okay, perfect. A baby who is in the jungle, has been left by their parents in the jungle, also doesn't have any duties towards other humans, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so are you saying that it's okay to exploit this baby because it does not have moral agency or duties towards other humans?
No, but people have duties towards it, not it has duties towards others.
Why? Wait, so yet again you describe the relationship towards the individual when I specifically asked you to name traits of the individual themselves. So then we'll disregard this one and we'll only use have moral agency, okay?
Yeah, then I'll say in a lot of religious beliefs, humans have...
No. Religious belief, you mean humans have religious beliefs? Because there's humans who don't have religious beliefs.
Like people...
And babies don't have religious beliefs, by the way.
Human society, because
Listen, I'm not asking you to like look in
you're asking for specific things that humans
I'm
have
asking you for
that
traits
are
like
different from
phenotypes.
animals.
Yeah, like phenotypical traits.
Mine is just, my main one is humans have moral agency, right? That's
Yeah,
my
but
main
moral agent, not all humans have moral agency.
Yeah, but they will have moral agency.
Oh, no,
Because
there's
in an
several
early stage of
humans.
development.
No, George, I just explained to another person. There's people who are born with parts of their brain missing and they don't have moral agency. Would it be okay to exploit them?
No.
Okay, there you go. Listen, all this contradiction is going nowhere. I don't think you're actually genuinely interested in having a good
I
conversation.
was going to say, and I disagree that George cares about human rights. You put humans into slaughterhouses, migrants, immigrants, refugees, even children.
What?
So you don't
Never done
care
that.
about humans. You don't care. So even if
I'm
you
not
did care
American.
about humans, it's still a contradiction.
Oh.
Well, you
Yeah.
pay for that. You pay for them to take the lives of the animals you're paying to
But
have
I'm from
exploited
Africa.
for
I'm not
you.
American. What?
So it matters by place.
No, you're saying I put humans into slaughterhouses. I'm
So
saying what?
no one takes the
I'm not-
lives of the animals where you live?
Oh, you're saying in terms of animals. Yes, they do.
They do. So you don't think there's a psychological toll to that?
But there's different reasons that we...
No, you don't
consume
answer my
animal
question.
products.
You don't think there's a psychological toll to that?
There is psychological too.
Okay, well, there you go. So if you care about humans, stop putting them in that position and also stop exploiting animals. Because you
these
wouldn't
reasons
want to
do.
be exploited. You wouldn't have that done against you. So don't do it to others.
Okay. I have a few arguments, questions actually, but kind of arguments.
I don't think, George, like we tried having this conversation about the distinction between human and animals and
Yeah.
you couldn't provide anything. Do you at least acknowledge that you couldn't provide any difference between these two?
Yes, like traits, I can't provide traits that humans have.
Is it
Animals don't.
possible that there is no morally relevant trait that would justify the exploitation?
Morally relevant, they are things that are morally relevant about humans.
So are there morally relevant traits that humans have that other animals don't have that would make it okay to exploit them?
You know, when you say morally relevant traits, that does not mean physical traits, because I can give them to you.
Morally relevant physical traits. Morally relevant traits.
There are no physical moral traits that humans
Well,
have. That
there isn't anything else other than physical, is there?
there's abstract things, maths is still something.
Yeah, I don't know. Jem, do you want to continue
Guys,
conversation?
just here to try to debate stupid
I have-
stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
arguments,
I
but-
guess I would just like to point out that yeah, I think it's sad because you wouldn't accept your same logic for somebody exploiting you based on a trait
But I
that you
agree
have.
that killing animals is
Hang
wrong.
on, sorry, George. I'm in the middle of talking.
Sorry.
Yeah, based on your nationality or race or gender or whatever it may be, you wouldn't accept that. But you're picking something about them and using that as a justification to exploit them. Yeah, I mean, I could even say species, you know, if another species became more like superior, more capable than humans, they had another option, yet they understood that you valued your life, and they understood that you cared about what happened to you. Would they be justified to then exploit you because you're not a member of their species?
Yes,
They would be.
because we're not. How do I explain? For me, it would be wrong for someone to kill me, right? The same way for a dog, it would be wrong for a human to kill them. But for them, it's like we're not the same.
Yeah, but they still understand that you care
Okay,
about what
understand.
happens to you and they have another choice, right? So would it be moral for them to exploit you?
If they understood, I don't think it would be moral for them.
Okay, so why is it moral for you to exploit another species even though you have another option and you understand that they care about what
Another
happens to
option.
them? Yes, you don't have to exploit them, you could be vegan.
But okay, I don't think it's moral for any animal to die. That's my stance on it. But
Okay.
it's necessary for human
Wait,
survival.
no. Oh my god. Okay, so now we're moving on to a different argument. It's not
Yeah, but you said there's
necessary.
another option.
What do you think? What do you think's necessary?
That we need animal products to survive.
Like what?
Okay, you're from the UK, right? I could
What do we
see you're
need? Do we
speaking
need their
from a
skin,
point.
their flesh? What? Just if you could just answer the question. What do we need?
That the nutrients that they
No.
provide.
The largest organization of nutritionists and dietitians in the world say that a plant-based diet can be healthy and nutritious for all life stages.
Yes,
We don't
I
need to
agree.
debate nutrition because we already have that information.
I'm not
They're the
debating, I'm not
experts.
debating nutrition.
So you are
I'm
wrong.
saying-
It is not.
Okay,
It is
okay.
not a necessity. It's not a requirement.
Let me explain how it's a necessity. For
No,
example, I'm saying,
you don't know more
Can I
than you
explain?
don't. No, you don't know more than the
I'm not
American
saying I
and
know
the
more than
British
experts.
Dietetic Association. You're trying to explain something. You're trying to explain why they're wrong. You don't know better than them,
No,
George.
I agree that you can live without vegan diets, but I'm saying
It can be healthy and nutritious for all life stages.
100%. But I'm saying
Okay, so it's
you're
not a
speaking from
necessity.
okay. It is. Let me explain. You're speaking from a point of privilege because if you come here in Africa, there's people who can't
Oh,
afford to live a vegan
please. We're
lifestyle.
talking about you, George. You specifically.
Which
I'm
country are
saying
you in,
it's
George?
Kenya. Like
Okay.
people, it's not
Can you
practical
be
until it is
vegan in
practical.
Kenya?
Yes,
Are there
but
soy chunks? I'm pretty sure because I talked to a lot of people from Africa, and I'm pretty sure soy chunks are cheaper everywhere. But you know, I haven't specifically searched in Kenya, but I've still spoken to people from
okay,
Burkina
you can
Faso,
search, and I'm
from
saying,
Niger, from South Africa. Yeah, look, yeah, Kenya is actually one of the easier places to be vegan. A lot of everyday
but you know those
staples are
people who are
naturally
vegan.
plant-based,
Okay,
not niche substitutes. Most
yes,
of Kenyan meals are accidentally vegan. Okay.
yes, they're all
Staples
plants. I
like
agree.
ugali, sukuma wiki,
Yeah, vegetables.
githeri. I felt to see, and cost is low. A filling healthy vegan meal can be for around 100K SHS. Soy chunk
Kenyan
also
shillings.
easily to find. Soy chunks
I'm
also easily
saying,
to find, and they're high in protein. So I felt to see why exactly is it that you think in Kenya you cannot be vegan, since
okay, can I
with a
explain?
simple search I find otherwise.
Okay, one, that's people of middle income society. 50% of Kenya
Oh,
is
no, it
in
says pretty
poverty.
clearly that it is low. Okay,
Yes,
compared
low,
to
it's very
consuming.
affordable. I agree. But to
Okay,
live a fully vegetarian life is not feasible. I'm saying
do
until it's
you can
feasible,
you afford it? Can you afford it?
me personally,
Yeah.
no.
You cannot afford it, so you can afford to stay on TikTok right now. And by the way, also in Kenya, vegan comes out clearly cheaper and easier than eating animal products. I've also looked into that. So what you're saying is actually not true.
You can
That's
search the price of
again,
eggs, you can search the price of
yeah.
prices
So
of. I'm saying Okay, let me make my argument first. For many low
But
income
none of these
countries,
arguments are valid
okay,
because
let me just make it
so
first,
so
then
t-
we can respond.
let me make it simple for you. So beef, chicken, or for the price of
Eggs,
500 to 800,
yes.
compare that to a full vegan meal, which is around 800 if you use beans, ugali, and vegetables. So it seems like it's cheaper to be on a vegan meal.
Can I
100
ask
versus
something?
500.
Yeah, can I ask
Yeah, but that
something,
doesn't.
George?
Yes.
George, I have a hypothetical question for you. So let's say you went to bed tonight and in the night you were bit by an insect that meant that you rejected all forms of animal products. So you became suddenly allergic to all forms of animal flesh, their secretions, eggs, milk, whatever. Do you think that you could find a way to survive in your current situation?
No, because they're
So what do you
for
think would
example,
happen to you?
I'll suffer from malnutrition.
You don't think that there's any way that you could survive on a plant-based diet? You think that you would die from malnutrition?
Practically, okay, for the level of income, no. If I have
What
enough money,
exactly would you be
yes.
missing out, George? Not enough calories? What nutrients? What
Calories you
exactly
can
would you?
get from plants. I think
Okay,
most
so
of
what would you be missing out on?
I think it's specific proteins,
Wait, so what
vitamins,
would your calories consist of?
calories. Mostly plant-based diet.
No, George. What would your calories consist of? Which macronutrients would your calories consist of?
Maize,
No, George. So you see, you know nothing about nutrition.
macronutrients.
You know absolutely nothing about nutrition. You say you would be missing out on protein, but you could hit your calorie. If you can hit your calorie, you would be definitely be hitting protein because you won't be hitting your calorie content only by carbohydrates and fats. There would definitely be protein in there. And as I just explained to you, soy chunks are cheaper than anything else. I literally looked it up right now. They're higher
Yes.
in protein than any animal product and cheaper. You're just being disingenuous right now and
No,
trying to use a
I'm not being
particular
disingenuous.
situation and saying as if, look, I live
I'm
in a
saying it's
place
not
where it's
practical. That's
difficult
what
to
I'm
be
saying.
so.
I'm saying it's not practical
Excuse me. So if it's easier and cheaper to buy these products, why are they not practical?
because it's harder to mass produce these products compared to animal
Oh,
products.
excuse me. You think it's harder to mass produce soy rather than mass
Okay, soy
produce
is
soy, feed it
one
to the
aspect of it.
animals, and then produce these
I'm
products?
saying, okay, let me make my argument. You haven't let me make my argument that for the cost that it takes to produce this food that a person can buy, for it to be mass
It
available,
is cheaper. It is cheaper
yes, it's
right now,
cheaper, but
George.
and I agree,
I
but they're
think
specific.
George is just an escape artist and doesn't want
Yeah.
to
No,
take any
I'm not saying
accountability, and
that. I'm
it's
saying it's
okay
just
with
not feasible.
abusing and exploiting animals because he's
Yeah.
lazy.
No,
George, it just
it's
seems
not
like
feasible. That's all I'm saying.
it just seems like you're trying to come up with excuses why
I'm
you
not coming
shouldn't
up with
do
excuses.
something
I'm
where
talking
you're
about.
it doesn't seem like you're an open-minded person to say, oh,
I
hang on,
am.
maybe I could be wrong about this. Okay. Yeah,
Okay, I'm
I just
talking
don't
about
get
from my
those kind of
experience,
vibes.
right?
So
Okay, let me say something.
no,
From my
sorry, I'm just
experience,
bored. You've been up here. I don't mean to be rude. You've been up here for a while. It seems like you say something, we debunk that, and then then you don't acknowledge it and you just move on to something else. It just seems like you're set in your ways. You want to continue exploiting other animals, and you're talking about stuff that you don't even have an understanding of, saying, "Oh, I'm missing out on this." You're just guessing. You don't you. It's clear that you don't know about this stuff. Right. Let's move on. Let's go. Queen Lottie.
Hello.
Hello, Queen Lottie. Are you over 18?
Yes.
Awesome. Can we just clarify veganism before we begin? What is your understanding of what it means to be vegan?
Well, not using animal products and using their skin for clothes and using them for makeup and other stuff as well, and using them for like cattle markets and everything else to be used to get killed.
Yeah, using them basically. So it's rejecting their exploitation. So not using them in a way that goes against their interests. So, do you think that we should respect other animals?
Could do, but in the
No, do you think we
animal
should?
kingdom,
Do you think that we should? Not, do you
well, I'm a
think, not could we? I'm asking, should we?
not really, because we're all meat eaters, and some animals eat other animals.
So we
to
shouldn't.
keep the alive.
Okay, hang on. So we shouldn't respect other animals.
We should respect other animals.
Wait,
but we still
sorry.
still
Should
eat
we
them.
respect them or not? Because you gave me two different answers there. You said first you said that we shouldn't,
Some
and then
people
you.
can. Well, some other people use them as products.
Yeah,
and some people eat them for
sorry,
meat.
Queen Lottie. Do you think that we should respect other animals?
No.
No. Okay. Do you think that we should respect each other as humans?
Yeah.
Okay. So why is it that we should respect each other, but we shouldn't extend that respect to other animals?
Well, if you look at it, we respect people.
Yes. So I'm saying
else.
that. So
And
my question
also-
is, sorry, Queen Lottie.
Also,
So wait, my question is, why do you think we should respect other humans, but we shouldn't extend that to other animals?
well, have you been to a flipping zoo to see a lion eating a human being?
Sorry, how does that answer the question I asked?
Well, you can respect other people.
Have you been to a prison and seen another human attack another human?
No, I haven't been. I haven't been to prison.
Well, they do that.
I've seen
What's
people
that?
on the news beating people up in prisons.
There you go.
I've not been to prison myself.
Okay.
I've seen it on the news.
So, what relevance have other individuals got to you? I'm asking you why we should respect other humans but not other animals. And you're talking about a lion in the zoo. What does that have to do with you?
Well, have you not been to a zoo and seen a lion or a
Yeah,
tiger?
again. What
Do you
does that have
stand
to
there
do with you?
going, "Oh, Mr. Tiger, you can't eat meat. You got to eat vegan crap"? and
What does
stuff
that
like
have to do
It's
with you?
ridiculous.
What does that have
It's
to do with
ridiculous.
you? Queen Lottie, what does that have to do with you? Another human.
What's it got to do with you to tell people not to eat fucking meat? Answer that question.
I'm asking you about your morals, Queen Lottie. I'm not telling you what to do or what not to do. I'm just asking you about your morals.
Well, morals of eating meat.
No,
Yeah.
Queen, it's about the animals. For crying out loud, Queen. How do you not get it that we've been speaking about the
I
animals for
understand
2
what
hours
she's saying.
now?
You're being fucking rude down there, mate. Don't
All
talk
right,
over me.
sorry, Queen Lottie, you sound way too emotional to have a conversation right now, so we're gonna move on. I'm H. Hang on.
Hi, how are you? You okay? I didn't realize I joined.
Oh, no worries. I'm good, thank you. Are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 27, almost 30 actually. 3 years
Good.
away from 30.
Good.
How about yourself? Is
Okay.
everything well?
So you said you didn't mean to join.
No, I didn't know I was joining. I was literally on another app and I had the link
Okay.
open. I was
Okay,
gonna
sure.
join. I usually
Oh,
just
yeah.
view live, and it's the first time I'm joining, and I really just scrolled past, and I was
Okay.
just seeing all the arguments and conversations and stuff. And I
Yeah.
do understand your opinion and stuff, but I do have some
Okay.
differences on it. But yeah.
Okay. Well, am I okay to ask a few questions? Because that's what
Yeah,
I'm here
you
for. I
feel
mean,
free.
I'm
Feel
not.
free,
I mean,
ask me
I
as
know
many
we've had
questions.
Sorry, I know we've had a few like spicy conversations, but I'm not here to argue. I'm here to ask some questions, find out a little bit more about your ethics. But yeah, I don't know.
No, 100%. I can tell you're not here to argue because I know
Yeah.
you're asking questions, and I'm not here to
Yeah.
argue as well. I have a
Okay.
difference in opinion from you, but
Yeah.
just be
Okay.
reasonable. Like I might ask you a question as well, you know?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is your understanding of veganism before we go any further, H?
A plant-based diet.
So that is part of it, I guess. So veganism is the ethical principle that we should live without exploiting other animals. So obviously we do consume a plant-based diet, but we wouldn't exploit them for any reason that goes against their interests. So we don't use them for their skin, for entertainment, for I don't know, testing, labor, anything that comes out of them, you know, like their secretions, eggs, milk, or their flesh. So yeah, it's about considering them as an individual, and not using them against their interests. So
Okay.
do you think that we should respect other animals?
Opinionally, yeah, you should respect certain animals, not all animals, but yes, carry on.
Okay, so which animals should we not respect?
Animals that don't have much logic or reasoning.
Okay. So like humans who don't have logical reasoning, would you say that they
No,
don't
no,
deserve respect?
humans obviously have logic and reasoning because they can make decisions based
Most
upon
humans do, but some do not.
100%. If humans have like neurological problems and stuff, that's completely different. Like,
Okay.
that's a whole different argument based upon like illnesses and health conditions or
Yeah.
certain
Sure.
aspects like that. 100%.
So should we respect those humans or exploit them because they don't have?
No, you should respect them humans because they have
Okay.
certain illnesses, don't they? But they still have
Sure.
neural pathways that can still make certain decisions, can't they? But them decisions might be a bit polluted.
Okay, so why would you not respect other animals that don't have that logical reasoning, but you would respect humans who don't have that?
Because they have the ability to make a decision. They'll have something like they'll
No,
have a
not all.
statement or
No, not all humans do. So some humans, they're completely dependent on others. They can't make
so you
any
have
kind
certain
of decision or
systems. You have
reasoning.
certain systems in place
I
for them,
mean,
don't you?
yeah, okay. But my
So you have care
question
homes
is,
for them in place, don't you?
yeah, sure.
So they
But my
don't get
question is,
exploited by society.
I understand, but my question is, why wouldn't you exploit them, but you would exploit other animals because of that reason?
That's my main reason, because there is no logic in the animal. Like a chicken doesn't have any reasoning or logic to make decisions.
Yeah,
But
I
you
understand.
can't.
Sorry, I understand. I really do. I understand what you're saying. But you said
Yeah.
that if a human being didn't have logical reasoning, we shouldn't exploit them. We should protect them. And I agree with that. But why does that logic not apply to other animals who don't have logical reasoning? Why should we
Because
not also protect them?
a human brain is a lot more complicated than an animal's brain. It has a lot more.
Wait, can I just ask you a quick question?
Yeah, sure,
What?
100%.
Yeah. So, can you see in more colors than a chicken?
100%. I probably could.
No,
I
you
don't know
can't.
what. I
So,
don't know. I'm not sure. Innit? I probably
no, you
could. But I'm
can't.
not.
I'm just saying you can't.
Okay, yeah,
That's.
fair
I
enough.
just thought I would throw that in there. Go ahead,
No,
Jen.
no,
Sorry.
that's perfectly fine. Relevantly okay, no problem. But yeah.
Yeah, so
Can you fly, H? Can you fly? I'm H.
No, I can't fly. I can
Oh,
get a
okay, because a
plane.
lot
Yeah,
of birds can. Okay,
yeah,
great.
they can fly. Yeah,
yeah.
loads of
So
birds can fly. Loads
H
of people can
H
swim for
do you
hours as well.
see the point that the panel members are making is because you're saying that you can exploit other animals because they don't have certain abilities that you have, but then you don't have certain abilities that other animals have, right?
But if a animal has the ability to fly, yeah, like let's say a bird, but does a bird still have more complicated logic, reasoning, or a more stronger brain
I
to make
fail to
more
see why that
sophisticated
means that they
decisions?
deserve to be exploited. I'm sorry, H,
It's
but
it's just an opinion, you know.
why would that mean that we shouldn't give them respect? Because, I mean, it sounds a bit ableist, really. You're saying that because they lack logical reasoning, therefore they don't deserve respect.
The respect aspect is like a completely different thing. I'm not gonna go eat an animal based on religious reasons, my religious reasons. I'm not gonna eat a animal that's injured or harmed because it's against my religion. I can't do
Okay.
that. I can't eat an ill animal. I can't eat a mentally ill animal. I
Yeah,
can't do
sure.
that.
But
You know?
you said that we shouldn't respect some. I need to address this because you've said that we shouldn't respect some animals because they can't reason logically. They have no logical reasoning. but then you
Yeah.
don't hold the same view with humans. So I'm asking you why the difference in view?
I'll give you I'll give you an example. What's the difference? So, if a
The
human being
morally
has
relevant
issues,
difference.
the morally, yeah, 100. That's one reason, and also at the same time, society is already very evil itself. So you have
Right.
certain things in place where these vulnerable people are put in care homes or certain things because they would get exploited if they were out in the wild. Because people are very evil. So you have these
Okay.
certain procedures in place, don't you?
To protect
Because a
them,
human's
sure.
a lot more, yeah, to protect
Yeah.
them 100%.
So
But them,
why
their
should we not?
brain is a lot more their brain is a lot more sophisticated than a
No, no,
chicken.
no. No, so
It would be.
some humans have the same mental capacity as a chicken, believe it or not. But as you rightfully say, we protect them. We put them in places where they're protected. Now, my question is, I'll only ask it one more time because
Okay,
I can't
okay.
keep repeating it, but my question is, well, why would you not apply the same logic to other animals who are vulnerable? Why shouldn't we put them in sanctuaries instead of care homes and protect them against exploitation because they are also vulnerable? They also lack logic, reasoning, or whatever you said. That I don't even know if that's true, but I'm just still manning you there.
I'm only saying the logic reasoning because okay, as humans we absorb
Okay.
information, we learn
Yeah.
things every day, don't
Okay.
we?
Sorry,
We can't.
I don't have an answer, so I cannot take this conversation any further. If Chip or
No,
David
no,
want to
that's
ask something,
Hey,
then go
Atch.
ahead.
Can I
yeah, yeah.
just
Hi,
ask,
Ollie. Yeah, yeah.
do you know that every single animal that you consume has been genetically altered? That they're not anything that resembles them being like something maybe your God said was natural?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I never. Your voice broke up at the end for me on my line.
Yeah, so every animal that you eat
Yeah.
has been genetically altered, unlike resembling any natural animal that's ever existed.
So do you mean like they've been farmed in like bulk and like steroids and like
No,
just
they've been
refarmed and stuff?
selectively bred and genetically altered.
Okay, okay.
Does that go against your religion?
Certain animals we just don't eat. Certain animals are prohibited.
No, this is
And
all
certain,
animals. All the animals you have eaten or are about to exploit,
yeah.
yeah, they're all genetically altered.
Okay, okay, okay.
Doesn't that go against your religion?
I don't have the specifics based on that part because I'm not that knowledgeable based on my
You don't know your
aspects, but
religion?
I know the main three key aspects of me to eat meat. It has to be prepared a certain way. It has to be from
Yeah.
something that has a certain regulation where
Yeah.
we have like a certification that gets done
Yes,
properly.
halal. I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, halal. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know all
So
of
I
this.
follow
I
a
know all of
certain
this.
association that
It's
has a
actually
board.
haram, right? It's actually
Yeah, yeah,
haram
it's haram. Yeah, yeah, but we
that you're
follow like certain
participating in, right? You're
organizations. So
participating in that because the
yeah, but
animals you eat
let
have
me give you
been
let me give
changed
you
and altered from your God's creation. So it seems
yeah.
like
I
if
get what
you
you're
eat
saying.
them
I
and you
get what you're saying,
exploit
but can
them,
I say something first? I was gonna say
then
there's
you're
an
going against your
organization.
religion.
There's an organization that a lot
Yeah,
of
halal
Muslims use.
certified. Hey, by the way,
Yeah,
anybody in the chat, anybody here who wants to get halal certified, you can do that in 5 minutes online, just so you know.
yeah, but I was just gonna say to you. So there's one organization. There's HMC. There's HFC.
Yes,
There's all
I
these,
know.
but
I know.
there's a
Yes.
main one behind them that regulates all of it.
Yeah.
There's one of it. You have to follow a certain thing. So if you see a halal sticker on a certain
Yeah.
thing, you can't just go in and eat it. You have to check what company's behind it.
Yeah.
Like you
So
said, you can go
again, that's
and
not
get
what I'm
this
talking
certification
about.
in 5 minutes.
I'm not
So
talking about
based on that,
your
then
little
I'd go
label.
eat. You know?
I'm not talking about your little label. I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the fact that your God specifically said to leave the animals alone. And why would your God create all these animals in his image and his glory or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you go and you genetically alter them. You make them disabled babies and then you eat them and put them in your mouth. Why would you do that when you don't have to?
Yeah, but you gotta also remember that I'm not the one genetically abusing them. Yeah, I might be enabling it based on your argument.
Yeah, well, supply and
Yeah,
demand, right?
yeah, I might be enabling it based on your argument,
Yeah,
but
so
at
there
the
you
end of
go.
the day,
That's haram.
you've gotta, but it's
No, that's
haram based
haram.
on your research. It's not haram based on me because
That's
I'm the one
absolutely haram. Yeah, it
living it.
is.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. In your opinion, it's haram. In mine, it's
How
not because
isn't it though?
I'm following a certain institution that has to go through certain regulations. You know?
No, no.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
We're gonna have
you're
a
going against your
disagreement on
God
it.
and your religion. I
I'm
can't
not
believe
going
that.
against.
That's blasphemy, by the way.
Fair enough, but
Yeah.
in your opinion,
That's
in my
terrible.
opinion,
And then also, just to add on to that, you put your fellow humans into slaughterhouses as well, and they suffer mentally, and you do that, and that goes against your religion as well. So that's
yeah.
double, double.
But then you've got something called like Eid al-Azha, where you have like
Yeah.
you have
Yeah,
to
and you can
slaughter. You
donate
have to
money, you
slaughter.
can donate time,
Yeah,
you can
but you
give
have
to
to
charity, you
donate.
can help the woman across the street.
There's seven
It's funny
pieces of
how
an
I know
animal that
more
needs
about
to
your
be.
religion
Yeah,
than
but let
you're
me
letting
give you an
on.
example. There's seven pieces of an
Yeah.
animal that you have to donate. You keep one and you have to donate
No, you
six.
don't have to take an animal's life. You don't.
You do.
No, you
It's
don't.
in the.
Actually, you don't.
There's a whole story about how a goat
It doesn't
goes
matter.
and
You're cherry
saves the
picking. Now
prophet.
you're even doing more against your religion. You're
I'm
actually
not,
being
brother.
blasphemous because you're
I'm
cherry
not,
picking
brother.
certain aspects out of your religion now. Wow,
I'm
dude.
not, brother, because
How
I'm
much
telling you
further are
the
you gonna go?
story. I'm
You're
telling you
going
the
to hell,
story.
bro. If you're gonna be like this, you're gonna go to hell.
God's my witness. We'll see what happens, you
Yeah,
know?
Yeah, we will.
Is it possible that your book was printed wrong?
Now we can't talk about religion. Like, you're talking
Is
about
it
veganism.
possible that your book was printed wrong?
I believe in my book, but I
But
don't
is
want
it
to talk about
possible that it's
religion.
printed wrong?
No, it's not. It's not possible.
It's impossible to print it wrong. So if a printer is
Impossible.
broken and it doesn't have enough ink,
Yeah, but you're
then
talking
it will
about,
generate ink on its
but
own to print
but now
everything,
when
right?
I've come into a conversation to discuss to
Is
you
it
about
possible for
veganism,
your book to be wrong
but
on
now you're
something?
not even being, you're going off the point and you're talking about
No,
like
so
my
what I'm
religion
trying to
being wrong
so
now.
I'm H. I'm trying to explain to you one thing because when I discuss with religious people, I'm not a religious person, but I'll tell you what. I can tell you that factually or logically speaking, I'm closer to God, which I don't believe in, than you are. And you know why? Because I actually follow logic and critical thinking, which is what you claim that your God gave me. And using logic and critical thinking and the words, and I'm trying to follow what a compassionate God would do. I'm pretty sure that any form of compassionate individual, if they're faced with the option between unaliving an innocent animal or not to get the absolute same benefit, I'm pretty sure a compassionate individual would absolutely never choose to unalive an innocent individual. You know why? And you know how I know that? Because that same compassionate individual created that animal, according to you, by the way,
Yeah, God created everything. Yeah,
with
100%.
the capacity to feel pain, have emotions, and to scream and beg for their life when you try to unalive them. So, and to run away. So in fact, if you do truly believe in a God, then I think you should follow logic and critical thinking, which you claim is given to you by God. Otherwise, you would be in contradiction with the statement that you're following logical and critical thinking that's given to you by God. And when you're in contradiction with that, you either don't believe that God gave you critical thinking or logic, or you believe this text that somebody wrote, which is most likely written by humans. So you see, you can do
Yeah,
whatever you want,
but
but you
then
cannot come up with
I
all of this
agree.
nonsense.
Can
And
I
like,
can
do you
I
truly? I'm Haychak. Before we, because I really am not interested in religion. I believe all of
No,
them
no,
are very stupid.
I didn't. I brought up religion based
Sure,
upon the fact,
but
but
sure,
then
sure,
we
sure.
went
But like,
deeper into it. I don't even want to talk about religion
sure. But one last
because
question. I'm Haychak.
now it's becoming
Sure,
a
sure,
bit
sure,
disrespectful now, because
sure,
you're
sure, sure, sure.
saying. Let me say something. You're
No, no, but I'm
saying
not
that.
interested. Yeah, I'm disrespecting all religions. I don't care about that. So
Yeah,
I'm Haychak.
but that's
Yeah,
wrong
yeah,
though,
sure,
isn't
sure,
it?
sure,
If
sure,
you
sure.
want to talk
But
about
like,
veganism, I'm fine to talk about veganism, but there's no
sure,
point
sure, sure,
attacking
sure.
religion.
Sure, I'm
You
sure about
understand what
that.
I'm
Sure.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So I'm Haychak. If the last question that I want to ask you, it's simple.
You asked me like
You
three
will have an
questions, but you
option.
never let me answer the first one.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So this is the last question. Sure. So there's in front of you. There's two options. One exploits an innocent animal, and one doesn't. You get exactly the same benefit from both. Which one is the right choice?
if you're saying it's getting the same result, I'm not going to exploit the animal. But there's so many other micro like factors that you got to consider as well. There's
Okay,
so
so if you
many other
can get the
factors that you
same
got to consider.
benefit, without exploiting an animal, you're saying it's wrong to exploit an animal, correct?
Yeah, 100% is wrong to
Okay.
exploit an
Do you then
animal.
trust science? Do you then trust science that explains that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet?
But even if you look at like, let's say,
Do you trust science that says that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet? And by the way, you're off the app.
sorry, I swiped up. I was just saying to you, yes, science still says veganism is not healthy, and you're gonna bring up one study, and
I'm
I
H.
could bring up
Oh,
so many
oh.
studies. I
Please
could bring up
drop
so
just
many
one.
studies.
I'm H. Listen, we're gonna stop having this conversation with you because there's no point. But
No, but if you look at
but
the
drop it in the
Oxford
chat.
academic, yeah, the
Yeah, sure.
Oxford
So
academic,
yeah,
yeah,
sure. Yeah,
the
sure. I'm
Oxford
100%
academic
sure.
says vegans have a
Yeah.
75% chance of hip fractures. Now what?
Yeah. I'm H. By the way, and what does in the same study that I actually read, what does it also say that if they look after their calcium intake, then they won't have that issue,
Yeah,
right?
but there's also the fact
Oh,
of
okay.
like
So you can be healthy
calcium.
on a plant-based
Yeah,
diet. Thank you so much, I'm
but
H.
let me
Because
finish
this
though.
just
Like
proves that you're
saying
Let
an
me
extremely
finish though.
disingenuous
it's like
person.
saying if
I'm
you
not being
don't drink
disingenuous.
water, like you're gonna die
I'll be
from
honest. I
drinking
was very
water.
Yeah,
calm.
Not
I'm
drinking
not. I'm not
water. Oh
being
my god.
disingenuous. I'm very calm.
I'm already done
Perfectly.
disengaging with
I'm
you.
perfectly fine to have a conversation with you. I'm perfectly happy
Bro,
to
you
hear
gotta
you
read
out. But
your religious
we've
books,
got to also
dude.
not be
You just
like,
gotta read them because it
you got to
seems
also
like
not be like one-sided
you
as well.
agree that animals shouldn't be exploited, and you're
But
just
there's
looking
so
for
many other
excuses like
micro,
health.
like,
You're looking for
oh,
excuses like health. And if we can provide you that information that you can live healthy, if not healthier on a plant-based diet, you said you agree that you should live
yeah, but
vegan.
then you got to also
So we'll
factor
provide
in
that for you.
like
We'll
the
provide
guy
that for you.
literally just said if you monitor your calcium levels, meaning your calcium
We
levels,
will
your
provide
zinc
that for
levels,
you.
your
Yeah, you
iron
We
have to
levels
do
are going
that
to be vegan,
anyway.
aren't they?
You
I'm
have to do
literally
that.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, but when you're
Sorry,
eating a full
what the hell
meat
is this guy
diet,
talking about?
you're
There's
not
millions
Which
of
meat?
vegans in
monitoring
the
them.
H.
It's
world.
I'm
not
H.
timing.
Which meat provides you with calcium?
Meat doesn't, but what about iron? The lack of
Oh,
iron in
okay. No.
vegan.
I'm H. Which meat provides you with calcium? We were talking about calcium.
By the
No,
way, Chips a
no meat
nutritionist just
provides you with
saying.
calcium. Milk does, isn't it? Milk.
Oh, okay. So meat does not
Yeah,
provide you
milk.
with calcium.
Yeah,
What
but I'm
exactly do you
talking. Let's
get
talk about
calcium
iron
from?
though. There's iron as well, isn't there?
I'm H. We were talking about calcium.
Yeah, but
You
I said
provided a study
calcium,
that mentioned
iron.
calcium.
I said calcium, iron, iodine. You got all these vitamins that you lack
Sure.
in,
I'm
bro.
sure about
You
that. But
just
you
picked up
provided a study
one.
about calcium, and then your reason for rebutting this study was saying
Yeah,
that you have to
because
look
you're
after the
talking.
calcium intake, which you
Yeah,
have to
but
do anyway,
forget
as Jem also
forget
said.
the meat. I'm just talking about generally. Like you're talking about veganism as a whole. Yeah, you're
Oh,
not
I'm
allowed to have meat
general.
in
Bro.
Why
vegan.
is it that people reject the scientific consensus?
yeah.
Why is it that you
Look,
But
reject
we're not
this?
rejecting them. You literally said
I'm
yourself,
gonna,
like you have to
uh,
monitor your
I'm
calcium,
gonna
don't you?
move.
You
So
have to do that on
H,
any diet.
yes,
I'll
you
do
Like
my.
do.
this is about ethics.
Go on,
It's
Jem. I won't speak.
Sorry,
yeah,
I've
this is
just,
about
yeah,
ethics. Yeah.
like there's too much talking going on, but yeah, I don't know if you're still there, still listening, H, but there's studies that people from certain countries are more likely to lack certain nutrients. There's studies that people of certain ages are more likely to have this, but the point of the matter is that we can be healthy and we can get all of our nutrients. Yeah, you can look at factors that, okay, people from this country, they might be more likely to have this because they've got certain dietary habits. But if you actually have a balanced diet, which you have to do in any case, in any situation, then you can be healthy on a plant-based diet. Okay, so I've got 20 minutes left, so we'll try and get a few more in. I've just accepted. Have we spoke to this person?
Hello.
Oh, hey. No, I think I spoke to somebody earlier with a similar name, but it wasn't you, right?
I don't think it's
Okay.
I don't think you made a mistake.
Are you over 18?
Yes, I'm 21.
Awesome. So before we begin, can we just clarify what your understanding is of veganism?
Yeah, it's reducing all animal exploitation. That's
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, rejecting animal exploitation. So do you think that we should respect other animals?
100%.
Okay. And do you think that it's possible to truly respect them if we're also exploiting them?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say if you were being exploited, so you were being used against your interests for your body, could that ever be respectful towards you?
No, but we shouldn't
Okay.
raise animals to the standard of humans.
So, okay, so you're saying that it wouldn't be respectful to exploit you as a human being, but it is respectful to exploit other animals. So, what is it about you that means it wouldn't be respectful, but it is for the other
I don't think it's
animals?
about. I don't think it's about respect. I mean, sure, you can grow animals and kill them respectfully, or
What?
at least less
Okay,
less
and you're saying that,
atrociously. But
yeah.
this
So
is
you're
cycle
saying
of
that
life, you
that
know.
wouldn't be respectful to do to you, right? And this is what I'm asking. So I'm trying to understand why you hold a different view between you and other animals. You're saying it wouldn't be respectful to do to you, okay? But why is it
Yeah,
respectful
well,
to do to
because
them if it wouldn't be respectful to do to you? So what's the morally relevant difference there?
the morally difference is we're giving them a shelter, we're giving them food and water, and
So we
in
do that to our
return
kids. What are you
we get
talking about? We
yeah.
give kids our we
Again,
give.
you shouldn't raise animals to the same values to the same value as a human.
I'm not asking
Like,
you
stop
to.
doing that.
I'm not asking you to. I'm asking what's the morally relevant I'm asking why you hold a different view. Like, you say that we shouldn't. You say that we can respectfully exploit them, but we can't respectfully exploit humans. Well, why? What is it about humans that makes us so special that it wouldn't be respectful to do to us, but it is to them?
You make this exploitation sound like absolute torture, where it is indeed the industrial ones, it is like torture for them, but
Do
you
you
know there are
think
human ways to do it, right?
that? Do you think exploitation is inherently good or bad?
Depends for what purpose. It's if it's
Okay.
for our diet, then it's good.
Okay, so if I was exploiting you for my diet, would that be a good form of exploitation?
See, you keep raising humans animals to the
Yeah,
same
because you
standard of
haven't
humans,
given
right?
me a morally relevant difference between the two species. So, of course, I'm going to. You said that it is.
You
You said
think
that it
humans
depends
and
on what
animals
they're
have the
being
same moral?
exploited for.
Sorry, repeat that.
You said it depends on what they're being exploited for. So, I'm trying to use your logic here. So I'm saying, okay, so if I'm exploiting you for my food, would that be justified? And you said no. Well, why is it for them? This is what I'm trying to get at.
Yes, because in any normal scenario, you wouldn't eat a human, you know?
Yeah, do you understand what a hypothetical is?
Sure, cannibals exist. If you want to exploit humans
Yeah,
because
okay.
you're...
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like you're here in good faith, Nairis, because you're not really engaging in the question. I'm trying to ask a hypothetical, and you're saying, "Well, that doesn't happen." Yeah, that's an is-ought fallacy. Um, uh, yeah, I'm not asking what
So
is
I
or
just
what does
think
happen. I'm asking what should happen.
what should happen is I think we should take care of our health and eat what we are supposed to be eating
Yeah, so
for millions of
we can
years.
take care of
Our
our health
bodies...
without exploiting anybody, Nairis. So if we
Yeah,
can take
sure, we
care of,
can survive.
yeah, we can
Yeah,
survive
sure,
and we
I
can
know
be
we can
healthy.
survive on a plant-based diet,
Yeah,
but I want to thrive, not
yeah, you
to
can
survive. I
thrive
want
on a
to thrive, you
plant-based
know?
diet.
And humans thrive on what they've been eating for millions of years.
We can thrive on a plant-based diet.
Yeah, you're over talking, Jem. Nurse, can you just be here, like, and be honest and just have a honest conversation and talk with Jem, please?
Sure, sure, she just said what I just said.
Wait,
Yeah,
Nairos,
so
did you know that we've been eating red meat for centuries?
Say that again.
We've been eating red meat for centuries, right?
We've been eating meat in general for millions
Yeah,
of
but
years.
we've been eating red meat for centuries, correct?
Well, what do you think? Just cows have the rights
We've been
for
eating red
eating?
meat for centuries. It's a yes or no question. It's really not that difficult. Have we been eating red meat for centuries or not?
You know that we've been eating it for more than centuries, right?
Okay, perfect. Do you think red meat is healthy?
Red meat is one of the healthiest things you can put inside your body when it's cooked
Do you
properly
think
or
do
raw.
you think colon cancer is healthy?
You cannot get colon cancer from red meat that is sourced
Do you think
properly.
colon cancer is healthy?
So I know that you're implying that you're getting colon cancer from red meat. You can't.
Do you think colon cancer is healthy?
This is so stupid. No, of course not.
Okay, perfect. That World Health Organization has classified red meat as a carcinogen and create with the risk with increasing the risk of colon cancer based on several studies, and this has been done for at least 15 years.
Yeah, are you aware that those carcinogens
So why do
are
you reject
only...
the
No, 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 wait.
the expert's
Do you
opinion?
know? Do you know those harmful compounds only appear when you cook meat?
Yeah, exactly. So are you saying we should eat raw red meat?
No, there are ways to cook your meat without creating those harmful compounds. Those are
Oh,
created
no,
when
no, no.
Come
sugars
on.
from the meat
Who is
transform
this
into
guy?
aldehydes.
This guy
No,
is
no.
on.
Yeah,
I'm not saying we should eat raw meat. I'm saying there are
yeah,
other
Nairos.
methods to cook your
Listen,
meat.
Nairos, do you trust science? I just like it feels like you're just rejecting all forms of science that we're trying to explain to you. Because we have evidence clearly that red meat causes, or not causes, I'm sorry, but it's highly correlated with increased chances of colorectal cancer, which is the highest, second highest incidence of cancer worldwide. Well, and we also have evidence that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet. You seem to be rejecting both of these claims on account that you know better or that we've been doing it for centuries. So do you actually have any form of evidence that any of these things are not true, or is it just your opinion?
No, as I said, those
Okay, if you
studies
don't have
you've
evidence,
been
then why
reading,
on
those
earth?
studies you've been... Let
So
me
if you don't
finish.
have
I haven't
evidence,
stopped
why?
talking, please. Let me
So
have my sentence.
do you have evidence?
Can you stop interrupting me every 5 seconds?
Can you before you just go
You're
on with
not
a
polite.
speech
This
that
is
makes
not a
absolute no
bit...
sense? Do you have evidence?
Yes, I do, and let me finish talking.
Okay, can you give me the name of the study?
Those studies you have read are based on meat that has been seared, fried, and where the sugars
Can you give me the name of the
converted...
study that says you
You
cannot
don't
be
even
healthy
know
on a
what your
plant-based diet?
studies... You
No, no,
don't
no,
even know
no,
what
no,
your studies are
Niros. I'm
saying.
not asking you, Niros. Just to be clear, I'm not asking you to say why my studies are not good. I'm asking you to give me a study or a form of evidence that you cannot be healthy on a plant-based diet, or that you need to consume animal products.
It's just natural to consume them.
Okay, so you have no such study. Well, then let's any claim that
We
doesn't
can
have
look
evidence, we
at
can reject it without
evolution if you
evidence.
want. We can
Simple.
look at evolution.
Any form of evidence that any form of claims that don't have don't has evidence behind it, we can reject it
The
because it doesn't have
evidence
evidence
is
behind it.
evolution.
Yeah, evolution does not say we cannot thrive on a plant-based diet.
It quite literally does.
Okay, which part of evolution says we cannot thrive on a plant-based diet?
Well, we've been eating plant animal-based products all for almost all of our existence.
Oh, so you don't know what evolution also means. That's okay. Nairos, you're just a treasure of misinformation and
You
nonsense.
know that plants, we weren't eating plants. We these plants that we are eating today were manually bred by humans to have less toxic compounds.
As opposed to the animals, huh?
Yeah, but animals never had any toxic compounds. They were just bred to have more meat and fat.
But you just said that the plants were bred to no longer have those toxic compounds. So why would that matter?
Because they still retain them. They are called
So we
anti-nutrients.
bred them to no longer have those toxic compounds, but they still have them. Okay, gotcha. So which is it? Did we breed them to not longer have toxic
This is an
compounds, or
actual
do they still
fact.
have them?
They still absolutely have them, and it's a well-documented fact.
Okay. Which toxic compound? Well, tell me, which toxic compound does? Because oh my god, I really need to find out what toxic compound does soy
You need
have?
to take a breath and actually have a conversation with me.
Sure. But what toxic compound does soy have? Soy is a staple on a
I can
plant-based
tell
diet
you
in
all the
general.
toxic compounds that plants have, you know? For
No,
example,
Neros. What toxic compounds does soy have?
soy is a bean, right?
Yes.
So it most likely has phytic acid and lectins.
Okay. Why is phytic acid? Why is phytic acid? You're claiming it's toxic for humans, right?
It is very toxic.
Okay. Can you provide any evidence that it is toxic for humans? Because I'm a nutritionist, and actually, I have never heard that phytic acid is toxic for humans.
Yeah, well, that's because it doesn't teach you there.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. We can reject all forms of
Sorry,
evidence.
but
We
if you're
can
a
reject all forms of
nutritionist, the
education
label doesn't
because
mean anything.
Nairus knows better. Jesus, what is it with people today? Like, seriously
Yeah.
denying all forms of science.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let me ask you
we're
this.
gonna
Where
move
did you
on.
get
Sorry, I've only got like 10 minutes left, and I'd like to hopefully have like a productive conversation. But it does seem like you get the same kind of people up. Like on some lives, it's just like children, and today it's some ones it's like troll after troll, and today it's science deniers. Yeah. Christopher, are you over 18?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Before we go any further, can we just clarify what your understanding is of veganism?
Well, to me, it seems like you guys abuse plants because you guys are
Okay,
technically
so
taking away the right.
okay. You're not answering the question. I'll only speak to people who are engaging with the question. I'm happy to address any kind of concerns or whatever, but yeah, I asked what your understanding is of veganism, and you're talking about plants. Don't worry. Are you
Hello?
over 18?
Yeah, I am. I actually own some as well, so like,
Okay,
I
awesome.
know what all this is about.
Yeah. So
Um,
sorry.
I have
Can
a question for the nutrients.
can
That's
we just
all. I'm not here to cause any problems. So I just want to talk to him real quick.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to say, can we just clarify what veganism is before we go any further?
I was actually joining so y'all could get me that information because I don't know that much about it.
Okay. So veganism is the ethical principle that we should live without exploiting other animals. So using them against their interests. It's not a diet, so it's not just for food, but also for clothing, for entertainment, or for any purpose that goes against their interest. So yeah, just to clarify that. So sorry, what question did you want to ask, Chip?
He said he's like a nutrients, whatever, right? Like he
Nutritionist.
knows about stuff like plants and
Yeah,
animals and all the goods they could do and stuff.
I'm a
What's so
nutritionist,
bad
sure.
about red meat? Yes, all right. But what's so bad about red meat that we can't
It,
eat it?
it abuses animals.
It
Yeah,
abuses
please,
animals.
maybe if you want to talk about them first,
How is it that
my guy, please
animals,
just hear me out.
how is it that
Just please,
animals
can you,
can eat
don't
other
make me mute
animals
you.
but we
Don't
can't
make
eat
me
them?
mute you. Don't make me mute you.
You
Can you
don't have to mute
please,
me. Like I said, I'm
well,
not here
you're
to cause
talking
any
over me.
problems. I
I'm
just
asking
want
you a
to answer my
question. I'm
question.
asking you a question.
You talking
Please,
over me.
please answer
All
me
right,
a
go ahead. Go
question.
ahead.
Please, like, if you're gonna come up here, be respectful. Calling
I
them
am.
meat and beef and these things, they're an individual, okay? They had a life, and you're disrespecting them by calling them this, okay? So let's get back to the topic, and that's fine, but just don't disrespect them.
I'm not disrespecting no animals. I love animals actually. I was raised on a farm. I love animals. I know what they could do. But back to my question. Why is it that we humans can't eat cows or um
Because we have other options. We already know what you're saying, but other animals cannot because we have options and we're aware of what our options
mm,
imply. When we are
chickens or
aware of
anything
the
like that?
injustice that
If
we've already answered that
dogs,
question. Yeah,
Okay, so don't worry. Do you think that we should respect other animals? You say that you love them, so I'm
hello?
assuming that you think that they deserve respect.
My bad, y'all cut out. I didn't hear that.
Okay, so do you think that we should respect other animals? Oh, there's an echo. Sorry, I
Yeah.
can't talk to you if there's an echo. It's gonna do my head in. I can just hear myself speaking back. Oh no, sorry, I can't
I'm
do.
not echo.
I
I'm not
can't. Nah,
echoing.
sorry. I'm gonna have to move on because it's just, yeah, it's too much. I can't focus on listening to my voice back. It's too distracting.
Yeah,
You're
if you
welcome
can
to.
watch
Sorry,
Dominion or something.
yeah.
Sorry,
I
jumping
was
in
going to
there.
say you're welcome to request back up, but I don't know if we'll have enough time. I'll try
Hello.
maybe if this is a quick one, then I'll try you again. But yeah, it's just I don't want to listen to my echo. Sorry, scapegoat. Are you scapegoated? Are you over 18?
I am 31.
Okay. So what's your understanding of veganism?
My understanding of veganism, I think, is kind of nuanced and it's kind of evolving as I understand it. I'm in a weird position where I'm in America and I kind of had this wake up moment here recently where I'm like, you know what? Nothing's going on here is right. And my diet's not right either. And I'm in a weird place where it feels like I am almost like a slave to this system where I'm forced to consume meat. And part of the thing that's messed up here is it's not just the farming, it's not just the eating the meat, it's just the way it's being processed and like made for us is just so past what's like a part of nature, you know. It's
Okay.
and I'm kind of in a weird middle place where I got a perspective where I'm like, I do consume meat and I feel guilty every time I do it, and I see every animal as like, hey, why does a cow or a pig have any less, reason or more reason for me to consume that over, my dog that's looking at it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
weird
yeah.
place.
Okay, I get you. So I think I asked you what your understanding of veganism is, right?
Yeah, my apology.
No, no, don't worry. Yeah, you're kind of saying relevant stuff, I guess. So, but I'll just explain the definition that I use. So, it's the ethical principle that humans should live without exploiting other animals. So,
Yeah,
by exploiting, I mean we shouldn't use them in a way that goes against their interests. So, not for their
it's
flesh.
immoral.
Yeah, not for their flesh, their skin, for entertainment, for labor, for testing. It's unnecessary and they can't consent. So,
Correct.
do you agree with that principle that we shouldn't
I do agree with
exploit?
that principle because
Okay.
humans have a unique position where we're able to be aware of what we're doing. These
Correct. Yeah.
animals that we're relating to and whatnot are in a position that they aren't evolved enough to even consider
Okay.
what they're doing to populations and whatnot. We're in the
Yeah.
unique position that we can think about these things, but it also
Absolutely.
feels like at the same time instincts and like you know I'm sure at points in our evolution we've groups of people had limited sources of food, and meat was probably a consistent part of that we're omnivores and we're able to consume meat. But it's like, are we at a point where we have to keep doing that? If does that have to keep being a part of our evolution? That's what my question is. It's kind of a philosophical thing, I guess.
Well, what do you think? Do you think that it has to continue being part of evolution for you?
That's a very weird place that I'm at. But I'm sorry if I keep saying the same things or whatever, but I used to be a bodybuilder here and I'm kind of out of that. And, I normalize the whole, I need massive amounts of protein to do this and whatnot and do this sport that's super idolizing and selfish in the first place. And I've kind of got out of that, but it's one of these things that I don't feel correct eating more meat in my diet or meat in my diet at all, but I do notice like hormone changes, dietary needs that it feels like when I do restrict like red meats and stuff in my diet from time to time, I will start to notice the lacks of certain nutrition in my diet. So I'm trying to like find ways of like keeping myself
Okay.
feeling really good and feeling like a man, I guess,
Yeah.
with
So
lentils and stuff like that and everything else. But it's kind of hard to replicate. And again, especially in this country, it's like it feels like it's everything against us trying to do anything like that.
Okay, so am I right in saying that you agree with the principles of veganism? You're just your issue is more with the practicalities rather than the principles. Is that
Correct.
okay? Okay, sure. So I was also going to ask something else about what you said about the nutrients. What did you say before you said you're trying to
I have no
navigate?
idea. I have ADHD. It's all in the past at this point. But I think I was trying to say that I do feel differences as
Oh,
far
that's
as
what I was going to
my
ask. Sorry,
yeah.
because
You're
you
fine.
said you went you've stopped eating certain animal products for a period of time. I was just going to ask how long were
Yeah.
you doing that for, or how long have you done that for?
I'm getting better and better at like it used to be a thing where like I was having burgers and crap that I have no reason to be eating in the first place. You know, every 2 days or so, I might consume beef once or twice a month. Uh, and I am trying to lean more pescatarian, just because, as stupid as it sounds, probably it does feel like a moral jump from eating mammals to eating fish and crustaceans and whatnot. But I know that if I really value all life, like I try to identify with myself, it's not really any different. But I'm trying to take baby steps, and it seems like shellfish and stuff like that in my diet can be a replace for some of this stuff that's in our diet, and in some cases I actually feel better on it. But every once in a while I will get this like instinctual pull for like beef and whatnot. And again too, I think it might be partially a gender thing to a certain degree, because I think men have a little bit more hunter drive in them and whatnot, and it's, again, that could just be
Yeah,
an instinctual thing, but who knows.
I think that's like more like marketing, or how I don't know how these industries have taught men to like perceive themselves. Because to me,
Yeah.
when I think of a man, I think of like a protector and a defender. I don't think of somebody who takes advantage on those who are more vulnerable, or more
Correct.
like defenseless than they are, and take advantage of those. I think that these industries have really preyed on masculine insecurity by saying, in order to be a man, you have to eat these little babies. Well, actually, which is ironic because they kind of fall for that, because they want to fit in. But really, a man is somebody
There's
who
nothing
protects and
masculine about
defends.
preying on the most
Yeah, yeah,
defenseless things on the planet.
exactly, exactly. But
But giving what you said too, I will say a weird place that two things can be true at once. It's like these things are preyed on by marketing and all these other things. But I'm not going to shy away from the fact that I know that men as a whole, including myself, we have the, again, back to evolution, we do have these urges and stuff like that, or drives to do stuff that's just not relevant with us being civil people and whatnot, like hunting urges or like aggressive. These are things that are impulses, or
I don't know.
but we don't need to keep that. What I'm trying to get to is like they need to be, it's like as conscious individuals we can feel these things and be like, I would be impulsive if I just jumped in and like let these impulses or these instincts, drive me, instead of being
Yeah.
a civil person.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably disagree. I think that, like, usually, if human beings walk past a herd of sheep or cows, we don't have an instinct that tells us to go and hurt them, or we don't start salivating, or our stomach doesn't start rumbling. Maybe we have the instinct to do what we've been taught, or to continue certain traditions and things like that. But if you think about it, people who hunt only do so because of how they're raised by their parents. I mean, yeah, in some cases, I guess you can have some people who do have those urges. They have urges maybe to harm other human beings too. But as you
Yeah,
say, that shouldn't mean that they should act on those urges, right?
exactly. Can I
But
give a debateful retort to that by any
yeah,
stance? Not that I'm trying to fight against you or anything like that.
yeah.
Do you think, regarding what you just said, going back to like, I don't know I'm not the biggest history buff, and I don't know what we're told and taught is right and wrong. But like when it comes to like cavemen and stuff like that, you know, do you think that they would have had these same animal instinctual urges or instincts to prey on other animals to feed their families and whatnot when resources are limited, or if they're up in like, you know, a tundra-esque environment where plants are limited, you know, and
Yeah.
mammals, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that survival would have just been their main urge, and that they wouldn't think any further than that. Going into like logic that we are now, I think that they would have just been thinking, "What can I do to survive?" You can probably compare it to like a human who's in a survival situation, or you know, the plane crash in the Andes drove people to, you know, consume each other. But I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that, you know,
It's messed
survival,
up.
when you're in a survival situation, who knows what you're capable of, because you know you're not thinking logic and reason. You're thinking, I need to do whatever I need to do to survive. So yeah, I do agree on that part.
And
Yeah,
I
I
think
guess.
men are more capable of these problems that we have in society more than women are. And I hate admitting that and whatnot, but I think it's just, again, that's kind of a thing that's with us that we have to learn and over time kind of get out of us. And, you know, some of those echoes of the past are still there. And, you know, we're at a
Yeah,
position now that we don't need to let them manifest themselves as, you know,
yeah, that's
normalized
it.
things. I don't know.
Yeah, completely agree with you. Yeah, so it kind of sounds like we agree on, you know, the most part of things. That you said that you feel guilty when you do like exploit animals, like consume them or whatever, and that you get these cravings. I mean, I guess I was gonna say, you know, you said like once or twice every month you have like a craving to eat a burger. And I think my question regarding that was going to be, because it seems like, I might have this completely wrong, but it seems like you're kind of really conscious about
No, you're trying
your.
to think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously, correct me if I am wrong, but it seems like you're being kind of conscious about your diet and you're trying to eat healthily, but then every now and then you get the craving to consume something that maybe isn't healthy, that maybe it's just for your, more for your taste pleasure, or more for, you know, this satisfaction rather than to, you know, sustain yourself. Am I right, or am I completely
It's
off
like
there?
an instinct, I'll be honest. It's separate from my I do have eating disorders and whatnot that have came around in my life and whatnot, but like there have been certain things like when I've eaten venison or been exposed to like venison or something that's like a really gamey animal that's not processed food. It's like there's this like, again too, it has nothing to do with conscious thought. Again, it feels more like an instinctual drive kind of thing where my body's like, I need this. And it's,
Okay.
again, it's very devoid of consciousness. And there's like a
Yeah.
feeling afterwards of like my body feels. It's not a mental thing as much of it is like a there feel. And I have a lot of mind body connection that a lot of other people lack. I'm super sensitive to everything. I experience life like
Can I
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
can I ask a
in
question? Does this mean that you cannot
yeah, sorry.
control yourself? Does this mean you cannot control yourself in these situations, or what does it
I
mean?
can control myself, but I do feel the urge, and it's very easy given our
But
environment
is it
here in the
okay?
United States to give into
But
it.
do you think it's possible that some of these urges are just nothing more than cravings? For example, if I crave an ice cream and my body says you really have to have an ice cream, that doesn't necessarily imply that an ice cream is healthy or that I should have an ice cream, does it?
Correct. You know, it's a dopamine seeking thing that we have because sugar is not
Yeah.
natural in our diet in the first place.
But a lot of the times when we seek, by the way, when we seek the desire to consume meat, in fact, it's not necessarily related to the taste of it, because in fact, when we consume flesh, it's not like we eat it raw or we eat it alone.
Mm-hmm.
We douse it in spices and sauces a lot of the times. So it's generally about texture. And when you have these cravings, you can always just try some plant-based meat. And in US, you do have some pretty good alternatives for that. Um, have you thought about giving that a try?
I'd rather, when I come down to it, again, I'm kind of a anti-capitalism, anti all this bullcrap kind of person to a certain degree. Not super one-way thinking, but I try to eat when I try to eat against these ways that I'm talking about. I try to eat as natural as possible. I make a lot of curries with like a lot of like chickpeas and whatnot. Chickpeas are a big staple in my
But
diet.
scapegoat,
Yeah,
surely, like, I'm sorry for interrupting you there, but surely,
oh, you're
like,
good.
you're against capitalism and all this stuff because they're detrimental to somebody. But
Mm-hmm.
surely you wouldn't choose to kill somebody because you're against capitalism. So why would you choose to, sorry, unalive? Why would you choose to unalive an animal just because you're against capitalism? Surely the right way would be, I'd rather support capitalism and not and unalive somebody than unalive somebody, right?
Yeah, and again, I don't think what we're saying right now is a completely black and white thing. But when it comes down to, and I don't like harming any animals, but again, I'm acknowledging that I do participate in the consumption of them, and it's not, again, it's not a. There's no morality in doing that. I never have any like, oh yeah, this makes sense that I'm doing this. It's an instinctual thing more than anything else. The same way when people are like, there's not a lot of consciousness that goes into when somebody like loves their partner and they're like, you know what, I'm just going to jump on my partner right now. That is a instinctual
No.
bonded thing.
Scapegoat, it's not, because if
Sorry,
my
I got off
partner,
topic. You're right.
even if my partner, if I jump on my partner and my partner says no, I stop, however much I wanted.
Exactly.
So in the same way, why would I stop? Because I know it would be immoral to do so, and
Correct.
it would be immoral to do so also when I would get an instinct to eat somebody else's flesh, right?
Oh yeah, and I don't have that. I don't have any urge to do anything like that. But again, I'm acknowledging the fact that this might not be an everybody thing. But when it comes down to eating animals, I do notice that I have some instinctual interaction there, whether it be minimal or a lot. And again, I would assume that there's so many. Do you guys live in the U.S.? I apologize.
I lived for
No.
3 months in the US, and
Yeah,
I
here in the
actually,
United States, it's such a natural thing here that like
I'm in
everybody you run into
Canada.
does stuff like that. I gotcha. It's just
Yeah.
so many people here participate in it, and I have to think to some degree that the people that started all this in the first place had some similar instinctual drive that was probably way more intense than whatever I have because they didn't have any choice in it, you know?
but
Yeah.
wait, scapegoat. I think like you're making it so complicated. It's simple.
Apologies.
Society has gotten things wrong a lot of the times. Like
Yep.
including in the United States, there was chattel slavery, which they clearly got wrong.
Oh
And
yeah,
a
this
lot
whole
of
country's
people
got
went.
everything wrong.
Yeah, why is it that you would agree that this might be one of those things that society got wrong? And in fact, with every choice you're making, you could be choosing to actually not oppress an innocent animal by simply choosing a plant-based option.
Yeah, I'm saying that I'm there. Like I'm doing the active things now. And again, too, I've had some moments and whatnot where the thoughtfulness in these things have kind of escaped me some time to time. And again, we go in these environments constantly where it's just like establishments or groups of people will look at you if you have like a food sensitivity issue or if you have a diet that you follow. They'll look at you like you're crazy. And a
Scapegoat,
mass of like 50 people.
Sorry, can I just cut in? I just want to be mindful of Jem's time, but
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I just want to say, so like it seems like you understand all of this, and so am I correct in saying that you hunt?
I do not hunt. I don't do any of these things. I've tried.
Okay,
I've
all right.
hunted about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay,
and it didn't feel right.
So it seems like you're like really like something brought you here. It seems like you're feeling the emotion, and I feel like you sound like you're going to be somebody who can change, and also like it sounds like you could be a really good voice for vegan advocacy. It sounds like you're with it. You're intelligent. It seems like you look like a buff guy. You can do that as well. So like
people will listen to me, right?
well, this is the thing, right? Like, so a lot of us just go to the gym and work out because we're like, well, we just got to show the rest of the public that they're idiots. And so like, it's not even about that, but it's about the animals, right? So they need our voice. They need people fighting for them. And it's, as you know, it's dire, it's awful. And I'm someone who goes out to slaughterhouses. I film it. I go there. I show the public what's happening.
It's got to be awful.
I worked in them. I seen firsthand what happens, and no being should ever have to go through that, or even if it was a nice life. This is all a mirage, right? So,
well, look at like what's the milk company? What was it called? That was Fair Life. Fair Life. They're like, oh, look at how our lives for our cows are and whatnot. And it's like completely the opposite.
Yeah, it's all a scam. It's really is. And if you're someone
I'm
about
aware.
capitalism and stuff like that, like I also I'll often talk about, like someone will talk about, we're being scammed or something like that by vegans, but it's quite the opposite. We've been conned to believe to eat these innocent animals that have done nothing wrong, and there's
Yeah.
people with big boats and mansions laughing at us. So
Oh, I know. It's
all that,
it's a renewable resource that they can just keep spawning
yeah,
because again, it's a
it's
lack of morality.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
And again,
ridiculous.
we're so cut off here in our world too. Is like most people I know will eat meat like every other day, every day. And if I ask any of them like, well, how many animals have you killed? They'll be like, oh, none. And I'm like, they're so desensitized and cut off from the process of an animal actually dying. And we feed our kids these meats and whatnot, and one day they'll be 1 or 2 years old, and you're like, that you're eating an animal, right? And they're like, what are you talking about? But they have already normalized it because we put it in them as kids.
Yeah.
And it's so weird.
Yeah, I would say like people often can't think about putting the shoe on the other foot, but we all know what it's like that time that we've had something done wrong to us. So I just want to pass it on to Jem just to be mindful of her time.
Yeah, and thank you for the conversation.
Before you go, Scapegoat, I was just going to say, so I have some advice that might help you. Well, that helped me. I don't know if it'll help you, but it's related to what you were saying about you getting these cravings every now and then. But I would say that what really helped me when I went vegan, so I watched a lot of footage about what the animals are actually going through. I watched a load of documentaries and I really connected with them. It was through a screen, obviously, but I really, saw what they were going through and really understood it and empathy. Felt it. Yeah. And when I went to the supermarket and, before I saw this, I used to love eating cheese, for example, and I used to enjoy eating steaks and all of this. But when I saw...
The dairy's a hard one for me.
Yeah, when I saw the footage of what was happening to the animals, I could no longer look at cow's milk and get a desire to drink that anymore because I didn't see a drink that I used to see. I just saw the mother cow crying out for her baby, and I saw all of the pain and misery that she had to go through for that. And I didn't get any cravings at all. When people are like, oh, it's so hard, I couldn't give up chocolate, I couldn't give up cheese. But for me, the what I'd witnessed, that overcame any kind of craving that I could have. It was not an issue for me. So I think that I think that in order to not have those kind of cravings, you really have to connect with those animals and understand what it is that they're going through. And you'll stop seeing these things as food. I don't see a piece of an animal body anymore as food. I just see it as torture and exploitation. I don't look at an egg and think, I'd like to eat that on my toast. I see it as a chicken's period. I don't look at any of these things the same way anymore. And I think that until you really get it, you really get it, and you see and you watch these, you might still see these products as food and you might get the cravings. So that would probably be my best advice. And when you're talking about cravings and having a juicy burger or whatever, you can still have that as a vegan, and you can still have the same kind of desires and the same satisfaction, but you'll associate...
I've tried it. It's not the same. I'd rather just not even engage with any of it, if that makes any sense.
What, plant-based meats?
I think your palate changes after a while too. Like your taste buds actually change after.
Yeah.
It's not even that long.
I think if it's the easier it is for people to get away from it, again, it would make it easier to escape the mindset of being like, oh, I'm going to follow my impulse or whatever. But it's like even in kids' candy here, it's like gelatin and everything like that is made from pigs. and it's just crammed down our throat, and they make all the good food expensive for us here and whatnot. And it's like, and then it
But
becomes another
scapegoat,
thing for, yeah,
you don't have to eat this every day. The point of it is keep it as a backup, right? You said you eat
yeah.
venison. Just instead of eating venison, eat a plant-based meat. Just give it a try. It
Yeah.
doesn't. You don't have to do that every day, but if you do
I
get that
I do
craving,
these things. I'm just trying to, I guess, maybe be the devil's advocate a little bit here and challenge you guys a little bit at the same
Yeah,
time, I think.
sorry, scapegoat. So what the issue might be is that you're making a comparison with that plant-based meat to the animal-based product that you're used to, and you're thinking, oh,
Uh-huh.
this is different. It's not like venison. I had a similar experience also before I went vegan. I was eating a chicken nugget and a vegan chicken nugget, and it was just so different to me. But I don't know, when you view it as a different product entirely and you're not making a comparison to a piece of chicken, then you're just enjoying it
It's
as a
easier too,
product
and you're
on
making,
itself. Yeah.
yeah,
But
I've used a lot of Beyond Steak in this house, and I will say sometimes, not even sometimes, anytime if I'm making a like a steak sandwich or like a Philly cheesesteak in this house, I actually will prefer, that's something that they did so right. The Beyond
yeah,
Steak tips are like, they nailed that. And I
yeah,
think if more people would try that, you didn't even tell them like, hey, this isn't meat. They're like, are you serious? But yeah, I'm not even trying to argue against what I believe. I'm kind of just, again, I guess I'm maybe like portraying people that aren't in my shoes and what they would say, because I've been there where I was a simpler, stupider person, and I would argue those things, but I'm at where I'm at now. And again, too, I do more of the stuff that you guys are talking about, but at the same time, being in the shoes that I'm in, I've lived a life where it had been hard up to this point, and it had been brainwashing and all this other stuff of being in that area. And I'm saying these things so maybe the people that are listening can be like, wow, I relate to what he's talking about right now, and maybe I can make the next step forward and,
yeah.
be somebody else tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Well, I am gonna have to shoot off now, but yeah,
I
I do
apologize for
agree
taking up your
with
time.
you that that there will be maybe some plant-based meats that you do like, some that you don't like. It's the same for me as well. I don't like some brands, but yeah, I am gonna have to shoot. I guess I was just gonna ask, have you seen Dominion before? It's a documentary.
Maybe possibly parts of it on YouTube or something like that. I'd be more than interested to watch it and whatnot and be more
Okay.
in this field. This is the only debate or talk that I've ever been in relating to food and whatnot, but it's been such a thought inside my head that I figured I'd talk and have a conversation with some people that were
Yeah.
having a conversation about it. And I got to say that I really enjoyed the conversation, and you guys have made a big imprint on me, and I think it is going to change my future as far as dieting culture and whatnot goes, and maybe a little bit of how I carry myself and present to people and audiences or whatnot, because I am actually interested in getting into conservation and being somebody that kind of is a advocate of animal rights and whatnot. It's just, I have to be
Yeah.
honest with myself in noting that I have been perpetuating a thing that I am trying to exit. And but gave you guys all a follow, and this conversation has been really good to me. And if you guys would ever care to have me in the future and whatnot for more conversations, if you guys do this, I mean, maybe in the future you guys can look back at me as somebody that had a conversation with you guys and kept making better changes towards the future.
Yeah, I'd love to have you back up again. Yeah, especially if you do go away and watch Dominion, it'd be really cool to see what your thoughts were, and if anything changed for you. That would be awesome.
I'll watch it tonight.
Okay, brilliant. Well, yeah, I'm back every week, so yeah, if you're around next week, yeah, I'd love to have you back on again. But yeah, I do appreciate you coming
Thank
on
you guys
as well.
for having me.
Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to go ahead
too.
and
Have a lovely
drop
day.
you. Thank you very much.
See ya.
So yeah, no, really awesome when we get people who are open-minded and yeah, just willing to have a normal conversation, and you can see that's the thing. Like, if people come up and they're respectful, then I'll be respectful as well and have a conversation. If you come up and you shout and are disrespectful and stuff, then it's not going to go well for anyone. But I am going to have to shoot off because it's like 10:20, so I've gone over a little bit, but I think it was worth it. I think I can justify staying over a little bit anyway, because I think he was
Great
a
job, Jem.
honest
Thank
guy.
you so much for
Yeah,
having us on. And guys, hit like, hit subscribe, share out the stream, become a channel member, help Jem become a full-time vegan activist. Wouldn't that be
appreciate that.
amazing?
Appreciate
And
that.
trust the science, please, for
Yeah,
crying out loud. Trust the goddamn science.
Chip,
yeah.
Chip needs a hug after that one. Oh my God.
Yeah, it
That
was
was
painful, but
torture.
I'm glad I didn't have to endure it alone. All of those science deniers. Oh my God, imagine if it was just me, like I'd be banging my head against the wall. So yeah, it does make it a little bit less painful having other people who otherwise I just think the whole world has gone mad if there's is nobody
Suffering
else
with
sane
you.
here in this place. Okay. But yeah, appreciate you both for being here.
Yeah.
I am gonna
Maybe
end
see
it.
you soon, Jem.
Oh, okay. See you soon as in Saturday. All right.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe.
Bye.
Cool. Thank you, everybody who's stuck around in the live. If I haven't got around to having a conversation with you and you requested, I do apologise, but hopefully we'll get a chance to speak next week. But yeah, I'll end it here. And hopefully see you next time. Right, that's that. I do just want to say thank you on YouTube. Wow, don't look at my background. Oh, okay. Oh, it's back. Okay. I've only got like a wicker basket and a mirror. I'm like, it's private, don't look. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to somebody who made a kind donation. Hanu Santa doesn't let me see the rest of the name. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to call you Hanu for short. Thank you so much. That's so kind and generous of you. And I don't know if I had some new members, Vegan Kaz and Donut Toothers. But if so, that's really awesome, and I really appreciate you guys' support. I hope you... It was a bit of a frustrating one, but, you know, we had a good one at the end. I was kind of worried in case people would think that I was farting, because on my chair, I'm sitting cross-legged on my chair, and my legs are a bit sweaty, and it's making like these, like, I don't know, noises when I moved, and I'm like thinking, oh my God, it's gonna sound like I've got like mad farts or something, but I don't know if you guys did hear. Oh, Chip, thank you, that's so nice. See, did you hear that? I just did it again, listen. Did you hear that? And I was just like, oh my God. Yeah. Oh, you didn't hear the sounds. Oh, shit. I'm back. Okay. I did not farted. I did not farted. I did not fart. Well, even if I did. I didn't. I genuinely didn't. That was a deep one. Did you actually hear it? So yeah, anyway, I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you to anybody who helped with the moderation. Thank you, Chip, for that donation. Really appreciate you. I appreciate all of you for being here. And for all of your support. It's been good, I think, even though it was frustrating at the start. We did get, you guys, those were mad farts. We did get a good one at the end, which makes it worth it. Oh, Marcus, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, my priority at the moment, I can't even afford to be part-time because, yeah, I make a few £100 a month doing this, but not enough to sustain myself. So, I mean, even if I can just go part-time, really, that's that would be amazing. I could probably do like double the amount of stuff that I'm doing now. Yeah, it's very, very challenging trying to work full time at the sanctuary and then manage all of my channels on top of it. And I work on my lunch breaks when I come home in the evenings, and then on my days off as well, I'm out. So it's just editing in between then, and I can't always keep up with it. So, I like to have a video going out every day, but I don't think I'm going to be able to achieve that this week. But I don't know. It's tough to. I'm doing as much as I can, but I could do more. And yeah, self-care is important too. I try and get enough sleep because I don't want to look a mess and give vegans a bad name. I tried soy milk for a while, but couldn't stop farting. I mean, you could try oat milk. I don't know why soy milk makes you fart. We have to make activism a job. Yeah, I mean, Elon Musk is saying that work is going to be optional within the next 20 years anyway, and we'll all be able to, because AI is going to take over, and we'll all be able to get like a basic wage and then just work if we want to. So I mean, that would be like a dream, because I could just like volunteer when I wanted. Obviously I enjoy working at a sanctuary and working with animals, so it'd be good to still volunteer, but I would also like to do more activism as well. So that'd be the dream. Vegans fart a lot. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying anything. Anyway. Whoa! What the hell? Sabby Coops. No way. Thank you so much. Wow, that is so generous of you. That is so kind. Thank you. Wow. You guys, I just feel I'm so lucky. I'm getting emotional now. I'm so lucky to have you guys behind me, supporting me. Yeah, it's really awesome, especially after like a shitty start to the week. But yeah, I feel a bit emotional. Just like, yeah, having the support means everything. It's a tough fight, but yeah, we're gonna carry on, and we're gonna keep going until the animals are liberated. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm actually gonna go now because it's like past. I'm gonna get in trouble. Thank you so much. I am gonna have to go. Ziad Chirobi. I'm so sorry. Please come back next week, 7:30, and we can have a chat in person. Veganism is just the principle that we shouldn't exploit other animals because we have an alternative. They don't want to be exploited. But that's all I can say for now. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate you all, and hopefully see you next week. And I hope you all have an awesome rest of the week. Okay, I'm actually going now.